I've spent 300 days transforming this world with loads of interesting builds, but there is still so much that I want to create. So in this video, I'm going to challenge myself to survive 400 days in real hardcore Minecraft. So grab some food and get ready for an awesome journey. Previously, we went and finished up this sheep farm, and obviously this area is not looking good. It is sticking out like a sore thumb. So today, we're going to take on the biggest project so far and absolutely terraform this entire area. But there's one thing we need to do first. So I have two picks. I have a Silk Touch one with Unbreaking 3 and a Fortune one with Unbreaking 5. Now the Unbreaking 5 was obviously lasting a lot longer, so I want to make sure that I get that on my Silk Touch pick as well, just because it's going to save me so much time from going to the end and back just to repair them. Now in order for me to get Unbreaking 5, I'm going to need a bunch of these books. So I need another Unbreaking 3 to make it Unbreaking 4, and then I need another 2 to make it Unbreaking 5. So I'm going to need 3 whole stacks of emeralds, and I don't think we have any right now. And now I know everyone's telling me to use the rotten flesh and all these other things I can use to sell, but I haven't got any fletches yet. We are going to get a better trading hall going, but that's in a future episode. We need to get a lot of the land on the top of our base fixed before we can start doing that. Because if you know me by now, I don't like to build things the traditional way. I want to make sure everything is good. I don't want to have a villager in a little hole. I want to give them an entire house each. So I guess we'll just start with what we've got. I've got some wheat in here. I got a couple potatoes, barely any carrots. I'm going to grab up a bunch of shulker boxes, and I'm going to farm absolutely every single one of my farms up top and see what we can get. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so after quite some time, I've managed to harvest all of the farms that we've got, and we've got quite a lot of stuff. So I've never actually done a full harvest. Nope, I guess I missed this stuff. Hang on, give me 1 second. I guess we got to do this as well. We can't leave any crops behind. Alright, that's better. Like I was saying, I've harvested every single one of my farms. Well, at least the ones that are going to get me some emeralds. So now I've got it all in shulker boxes. So let's see how many emeralds we get from a full harvest. This is actually exciting because we haven't actually done a full harvest before. So we've got 8 shulker boxes full plus our inventory. So let's see how much that makes. And ladies and gentlemen, every single one of these shulkers is now completely empty. As you can see, none of them have anything in them except for this one, which had a little bit of these seeds and, you know, little things that couldn't be traded. But in this shulker box here, I have all of the emeralds for each of the trades, and I was very surprised. As you can see, we got a ton of emeralds, and to the left you have the wheat. This is how many emeralds we got from selling the wheat. This is how many emeralds we got from selling carrots, which was absolutely mental. And this is how many emeralds we got from selling potatoes. And of course, 8 from beetroot, because our beetroot farm is very small and still growing. But obviously, carrots are our biggest export by far, almost 3 times. We got almost 6 stacks from just carrots alone, which is absolutely nuts. So now all I have to do is go grab some books and start getting the enchantments that we need. Now, I was getting a ton of XP. I almost put this pickaxe to full, gained this one half. So, you know, it's good to have a little bit of extra, but I kept forgetting, and you can see my level went up quite a lot. I was trying to put it on the pickaxes, but, you know, I just kept forgetting to have my pickaxe in my hand when I was trading. So, yeah, rookie mistake, I guess. But anyway, we're going to grab 3 of these bad boys. There we go. Very expensive, but you know what? What else are we going to use emeralds on? Am I right? Our anvil is going to break too, so we got to be mindful of that. So there we go. That's Unbreaking 4. Now, if we combine these, we're going to get another Unbreaking 4 book, and then combining this once again for Unbreaking 5. So now we have 2 pickaxes with Unbreaking 5, which is fantastic. Do I have iron in here? No, I must have put it down in the chests already. Let me quickly grab that so we can make another anvil, because I know that thing's going to break. Okay, I guess that was a bit of a lie. I must have used it, I guess, whatever. Let me go ahead and place down this iron ore. You know what? While we're doing these upgrades to our picks, can I get another fortune level? So I have a fortune book in here somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. Fortune 2. 64 emeralds. I don't know. It used to be 14. I don't know why this guy's so expensive, but it is whatever. I'm going to go ahead and grab up a couple of these. So that will be another fortune 3, which will make fortune 4. Do we have enough to go to fortune 5? I think we have just enough. So let me grab another 4 of these. Oh my days. I think we've already used all the emeralds. We got a stack of 9. Okay. That went through very quick. So now if I combine these fortunes together, oh no, all our XP's gone. Oh my days, we have 5 levels. I didn't even look to see how much XP we used. That was expensive. Oh my days, we had 65 levels. That's crazy. I guess we're making a trip to the end anyway. So I'll put these bad boys in here so they can start smelting anyway. And I'll probably go get about 50 levels of XP from the end. And I'll see you guys here in a second. I know I said I'd see you when we got back, but I just wanted to make sure that I've mentioned this before. Every time I go to the end, I'm kind of digging down instead of taking the ladder, because eventually we're going to have to make a massive hole anyway for a project that I want to do in the future. So every time I go to the end, however I'm feeling, dig 4, maybe 8, sometimes even just 1 block down. And I just dig down because, I mean, it'll make the project in the future a lot quicker because we're kind of doing the digging little bit by little bit. Well, at least that's the idea. It'll make it less confronting when we go to make that project. I have something awesome planned. So that'll be in a couple 100 days though, because this is a huge project that I want to do. It's probably going to take 100 days itself, which yeah, I don't have that time right now. But yeah, we're slowly digging it down to hopefully save time on that project in the future. So anyway, I'll see you back at the base when I have all the levels. Alrighty, so that is everything kind of healed up, and we've got 52 levels, so hopefully that's going to be enough. So we need to combine all these books together to make Fortune 3. Oh, there goes the anvil. Oh my goodness. So I guess I'm going to have to wait for this iron ore to smelt. Alrighty, so now we have our iron smelted up. I can go and create our 3rd or 4th anvil of this whole series now and chuck that bad boy right there. Now, if I go ahead and grab this Fortune, I can put the Fortune 3 in there to make Fortune 4. Oh, I don't think we're going to have enough XP, are we? No, we're not. So we got Fortune 4 book and Fortune 4 on the pick. I guess we're just going to have to wait to be able to do that one, but that's fine. I guess we'll put it in this here. Wait, how much XP do we need? I didn't even check that. 28 on my days. Oh my goodness me. That is crazy. But at least we've got Fortune 4 now. We might as well just start smelting this iron up while we've got it here. Yeah, get it crack-a-lackin'. And the rest can just go down into our chests. We'll sort that all out later. Oh, we had a bunch of iron in our thing. That's wild. Didn't even have to wait. But now, thankfully, we have not only all of our tools fixed up, but we now have 2 pickaxes with Unbreaking 5, which is gonna save us so much time. It's not even funny. This is gonna be crazy. So, as always, I'm gonna grab up every single one of my shulker boxes. I'm gonna grab a couple blocks of diamond. Gonna chuck that in here. And I'm also gonna grab the stuff to make an anvil. Just like that. Now I'm going to keep this anvil on me, just like I have the crafting bench. So once these picks are down low, I'm going to see how much it costs in terms of XP and diamonds, just to fix them without the mending, just to see if we can save a little bit of time. Ow, I gotta stop doing that, man. That's gonna kill me one day, I swear. Now, for this, I think the best thing to do is to start working from the top. So if I go into free cam and have a quick look, obviously this part here is not that much. We just gotta dig, you know, this thing, then dig it up to here. I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna deal with this road bit, but obviously once we dig it down, we're gonna be able to see. So I'm gonna place my stuff down here. We'll start with the silk touch. Now, we're right next to the cows. So I guess before we start, let's just grab some beef, some good old Australian beef. I actually found out Australia exports a lot of beef, so that's news for me, all right? So I guess we're living by the standards of the Aussies, all right? We're feeding off the beef. Anyway, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Let me just go ahead and dig this down, and we'll see how it looks like without this ugly natural terrain in the way. And this is now the area once all the random ass crap is gone. So it's looking so much better. Now, from the top view, you can now very clearly see where this little thingy majiggy's going. I do need to figure out what to do on the sides here. I'm thinking of making something, you know, we might as well figure it out now, to be honest with you. I'm thinking of grabbing a bunch of this stuff right here, and then a bunch of this stuff here, and then kind of just, you know, placing it on the sides, you know, just like that, just to kind of hide the dirt a little bit, right? So there's a little bit of an offset. So there's like a kind of thingy-majiggy. I don't know how to explain it, okay? But you can see what I'm talking about. And then add in a little bit of this beautiful stuff, kind of like this. Oh yeah. And this guy can just get the hell out of here. I don't want him messing around. No way, Jose. And you get out of here too, mate. No, thank you. All right. Anyway, then we're going to place in a bunch of this beautiful stuff as well. Just randomly. You know what I mean? Don't know why these zombies are just coming up. It's not the time for it, all right? Oh, my days. Get out of here, bro. Yeah, just like this. I think this... Oh, hold on. Boom. I think this is a nice, like, side bit to stop people falling off. And then there's going to be some shrubbery on the right and left. And a big-ass road in the middle. Why is this... Come on, that's definitely an Enderman. What the hell? So I think that is going to work pretty nicely. It looks very, very bland right now. I know. But we can fix that very easily. No, we can't. I don't have andesite. But if I did have andesite, we could fix that very easily. And we will. we will...
Hello there.
No way, buddy. Get out of here. Lucky I turned my camera to the left and it would have just blown up right in my face. And I'm not wearing my chest plate. That could have been dangerous. I do have blast protection on my leggings and my boots. You know, we're not taking any chances. And protection 4 on my helmet. So we're kind of protected, but still, you know, it's a bit nervous if he comes up and explodes right next to me. That could be game ending. But we're going to add the texture in a bit later because I don't have it on me now. But let me just change something. Hold on a second. I don't like this slab here. I think this should be like that. I think that's nicer. Yeah, and I don't like this. Boom. Little tiny things like that can really change it. I don't like that either. That's weird. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with this. It really sections off this area nicely. And obviously there's nothing in here now, but there will be something in here soon. Beautiful. It's coming up to daytime, so we're going to be able to see a lot better. Now, the next thing I need to do is, of course, the level below. So I'm going to have this kind of curve out and then back straight in here. So then it kind of meets up here perfectly. So we're going to have a path kind of linking up to this road, if that makes sense. So the best thing to do would be to just dig this kind of down a tiny bit so I can plan, and it's going to curve back in to about there. And then this meets up perfectly. Look at that. Oh my days. That was absolutely beautiful. So then there'll be a similar stone thing surrounding this. Oh, actually, no, sorry. We have to use this design because this is this level. So this will meet up to the edge here, which means it might actually need to be a little bit thicker. So maybe I'll go like this. I think that'll be better because then we can have a boulder here and then the road will kind of link up to here, up to this main road here. Yeah. I think that's going to be pretty beautiful. So now what we have to do is, I guess, dig all this area down to this level here. Now with that, I do want it to kind of start trending downwards because I want this to link up with it in like a circular kind of thingy-majiggy. I know I keep saying thingy-majiggy a lot. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know how to use words, okay? All right, let's just dig down, all right? So, all right, let's start dig-a-ligging. So now I've got this whole area here done and it's looking a lot better, like 176,000 times better than what it did before. As you can see, this level is now clearly defined here. You can have access to this main road here, and most likely there's going to be a very similar size area in this side where you also have access. So you can walk straight across, I guess, if that makes sense, like a T intersection, if you may. Now, this next part, I was originally going to have this curve down and meet up with this level here, but I've changed my mind. I want this to be like a cul-de-sac. So this is just going to end here. You can't continue. It's going to be like, I'm not 100% sure what's going to be in here yet, but I want this to kind of expand out a little bit and then dig back in. And then this line here will come up and then curve down and meet up with this bit here. So that is going to be a lot of work, but I think we can make it work. So let me grab up a couple stacks of dirt. And I guess we'll just start smoothing this out a little bit. So it'll come in one block and it's going to kick back out pretty much just like this. Maybe I'll try and make it kick out a little bit more. Okay, I think this is a pretty decent size. We're going to be able to build pretty much anything in here. If we look at that now from the sky, maybe I'll dig this in a little bit. That looks a bit weird. I'll dig it like that. Get out of here, man. There we go. Now let's have a look at that. He's going to spit at me, isn't he? Oh, he missed. What a loser. Okay, that's looking a lot better. All right, so let me just get rid of this guy and just kind of dig the edge just so we can make sure we remember where this is. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. Now with this next part, this is going to be a little bit more tricky. So we're going to build out this way, but then it's going to kick in just because there's not a huge amount of space here. And then it's going to kick back out because there's a lot more space here, if that makes sense. Just trying to make it a little bit more natural looking, I guess. So this is where it's going to meet up and start curving down to the right here. So now I need to figure out this side here. I think it's best to do the inside. Hold on, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I seem to do that a lot. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to start curving this down. So we've got the plan kind of laid out. That's obviously going to be the shape of this level, but it does need to start trending downwards. So I think maybe about here, this will be a good spot to do that. Then we'll go down again. Then once again, just slowly, I guess, heading downwards. Okay, so I've planned this out. I've got this slowly heading downwards and then it curves around here and then it goes down a couple blocks. Now, obviously it's going to stop here, but there's going to be like a little kind of staircase there. I think it's going to look really nice. So I guess now all that's left to do is dig all of this area out, which is going to take a while. So enjoy the time lapse. Now, after the good part of about an hour and 45 minutes, this place is finally done. I knew this part was going to take a lot longer, but I seriously had no idea that it was going to take that long. That is crazy. But looking in FreeCam, you can now see this top area is, for the most part, pretty good. It's looking very nice. Much, much better than what it was before. I'm really liking how this path is looking with these walls across them. It's looking so much better like this. I'm really loving it. And this is without any texture as well. This is only stone. So the next thing we need to figure out is, of course, this side over here. And then, of course, this side. I think I'm going to start with this side because this is a pretty big part to tackle. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough. I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. So most likely I'm just going to start mining and see what I can come up with. I'm sure it'll be okay. I have a rough idea for how I want it to turn out, but yeah, things change. Just going to work on the top part for now because this thing might also lead to this side as well. So I guess let's just get that started now. So I started planning out the topmost layer, shaping it all the way around the sheep farm. I then started digging down the mountain until I became lost and decided to move towards the side of the beach, which made it a lot easier to plan since I could expand on what I had already created. Once I was happy with that side, I moved back towards the front, excavating thousands of blocks to lower the mountain down to the new height I had planned. I wanted to retain a general shape and size of the natural mountain, but I did not like how tall it was, so I pretty much just cut it in half, which I was very happy with. I made sure that there was plenty of open space, giving more options for building in the future. Once each level was done, I went back to the top and worked my way down each face, carving in details and adding in the stone walls at the very top to stop people falling off. Now real quick, here is a before and after of the work we have done so far. This is so insane and is by far the biggest change so far in this series, but we are not done yet. That's right, we're not done yet. Now, there is still quite a lot to do. As you can see, this mountain at the bottom, that hasn't even been touched yet, so I need to fix all that up, but I've spent 5 hours absolutely terraforming, so I want to do something a little bit different for a little bit. So what we're going to do is fix up this entire level. So as you can see, this level started with this kind of wall, but it stops here and it needs to go all the way around. We're going to build it around this entire level here, which is going to go all the way up to over there. That's going to require a ton of stone bricks. Luckily, we're never going to really be running short on stone ever again. So I pretty much just go 2 below, add in a stone brick stair upside down, and then 2 stone bricks on top. Now I just have to do this all the way around. Now with just the stone bricks in, it looks like this. It definitely changes it quite a lot, and I think it looks very nice, but we still need to add in all the spruce. Now, I don't actually have much spruce, I don't think, so I'm going to go ahead and collect all this stuff. We had way more stone bricks than we needed. I guess that's not really a bad thing. But yeah, I'm going to collect all of these shulker boxes. I'm going to head back to the base. I'm going to empty everything into our storage system and grab as many spruce logs as I can. Now, after emptying everything into the chest, I've actually got an overflow of cobblestone again. So this double chest and then this double chest as well. So I just kind of started filling up the back wall there, I guess, because I mean, there's nowhere else to put it. So every single one of these double chests is full, and every single one of these stone except this one is full, which is almost half full. So we have a whole lot of stuff. So I'm going to quickly return these shulker boxes because we shouldn't need them, at least for the next, few things that we got to do. And we do have quite a few bits of spruce logs. So I'm going to grab it all because I'm sure I'm going to need it all. And then I'm going to grab all of the spruce slabs that I can, all of the trapdoors, and I guess the spruce stairs, because I have a feeling we're going to need them all. I forgot to mention we also got just over a stack of gunpowder just from being absolutely swarmed by creepers while digging everything. So we got just over 2 stacks now, which is nice. We haven't really had to use too many fireworks. We have used quite a few, but we still got 6 left, which should last us, a little bit more time. Before we go down, I do need to get more trapdoors. So I actually might just craft some up in here like that. You know what? We'll do another whole stack. Oh my goodness. Trapdoors are so expensive. Then I'm going to craft up some spruce stairs as well. Hopefully that'll be enough. Let's just go with that. We'll see how far we get with all of that. Fingers crossed we'll get decently far, but with these trapdoors, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I guess I'll just start adding them all in, and I'll see you guys either when something interesting happens or when we're finished. So I've added in all these stairs and slabs. Now we're just got to add in all the trapdoors, which is going to be a tricky part. I have to place them on the outside of each stone, but it's 1 block below. So the best thing to do, I think, is to just place them all and jump across. And then once they're all placed in, I can pretty much just run across and close them like that, I guess. Or I guess run on top like that. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. But to place them in, yeah, I think this is definitely a lot better. All right, that's all the trapdoors placed on the side. So now all that's left to do is place the trapdoors on top of each of these stone bricks. And then this part will be done, finally. Okay, I literally had 3 left and I ran out of trapdoors. That is crazy. Dude, I'm so sick of these phantoms though. They're so annoying. They're literally the worst thing Mojang's ever added. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, why do they want us to skip the night? That's literally the most iconic part of the game. Anyway, I'm just going to make up a bunch because I know we always use trapdoors anyway. And just finish this off real quick. And, oh my days. Boom. Okay, we're done. Look at that. That really changes that whole level quite a lot. Makes it much more uniform. And at least when you're harvesting carrots now, you're not just going to fall off the edge. It did look a little bit weird just having it just kind of finish with no kind of barrier. So it's so much nicer. Oh my god. Look at these guys. What the hell? They're just so relentless. They just don't even want to give me a second. I can't even fly without them trying to get me. Oh my days. Oh no. I need to go. I need to go. Oh my god, we were just in a little bit of a pickle, but we seem to be okay. Look at all the mobs everywhere. See, this is what I had to deal with. There was no light, so there was just mobs spawning all the time while I was building all these levels. I mean, it's a good thing, I guess, because I've been getting a lot of gunpowder. But yeah, we're on day 326, so it's taken a lot of time just to get this whole thing done so far. But honestly, we've done so well. The next thing we need to do, I think, is the paths. The paths is what's going to make this thing look so much better, because right now it's just a bunch of stone and a bunch of grass. Once the grass has paths going through it, it's going to look so much nicer. So I guess let's head back to the base and grab everything that we need to start getting these roads made. See how good I am at coming in here now? What I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck all this stuff in here. I'm going to grab up some spruce fences. I'm going to grab a ton of andesite. We'll grab 6 stacks. 6 stacks of andesite. We also need maybe 2 stacks of polished andesite. I'm going to need a ton of stone. I'll grab 12 stacks for now. And last but not least, of course, some stone bricks. I have a bunch of stone brick slabs already made, so I'm just going to grab them. I'm also going to grab a shulker just so we can kind of have a little bit more space in our inventory. And I also need to grab a bunch of lanterns. Now, thankfully, we do have quite a lot of iron, so I can just go and make a bunch of them. Hopefully, we got enough to make 2 stacks, so we have the equal amount of spruce fences as well. Oh yeah, look at that, no problem. So that should be everything that we kind of need. Our pickaxes are pretty much dead, but our shovels are fine. So we don't need our pickaxe right now to do this. I'm going to actually grab up some more rockets too before we go, because we're almost completely out. I'm just going to make up a stack. Dude, how do we have no sugarcane and also no paper? That's wild. I don't even have any in these chests as well. I'm going to have to go farm some. Never thought I'd need to farm sugarcane. That's wild. Hopefully 1 rocket will get us up there, because that's all we've got. Oh yeah, beautiful. Not a single problem. So I'm going to harvest up all these real quick. I don't even really need that much. I'm sure a stack's going to be perfect. So I've got a crafting bench in the cow farm. So I'll go like that and I'll go like that. And then we're pretty much... Oh man, we got 3 stacks. Oh, I made flight duration 1. That's embarrassing. That is so annoying. I wonder how long these even last. Okay, that's whatever. You know, they're not too bad actually. I think this might be even better. I don't know why I've made flight 3. I reckon a flight duration 1 might actually get us across the entire base. And since that's how we do most of our, you know, getting around, maybe it's better to have those anyway. But let's go ahead and start at the very top, of course, because this is going to be the main road that stretches all the way down to there and then wraps back around under, which we're going to fix today as well. This part is also in this project. I want this road to stretch all the way down here and finally link up there, so then this whole section will be done. But I guess we're just going to start on the road now. So it's going to be roughly 5 blocks. So that's perfectly in the middle. That's a Enderman. There's always Enderman just taking out blocks. You know what I forgot? I forgot a crafting bench. What a loser. What a rookie mistake. Oh man. Oh well. There's a log here. I'm gonna turn into a bench real quick so we can make up them slabs. So I'll make up some andesite, some polished, and some stone bricks. There we go. So I'll start with a little bit of stone brick, some polished andesite, normal andesite, and how could we forget our stone? Never forget your stone, alright? Just like that. Yeah, mate, burn. Alright, so the question is, do I have this slab one side out or one side in? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do that one out, and then I'll do the next one in, just so I can see the difference and kind of see what I prefer. Okay, I definitely prefer the in. Let me just change this as well, just so I can kind of get a better idea of how it's going to actually look. Well, I don't know, that's pretty close. I think I'm going to go in. I think in's better. There we go. Okay, so this is how the road's going to look. It's going to be very wide for this main road. It's going to stretch all the way down. Okay, so this is kind of how it's looking now. Obviously, it's really going to change this entire thing once we have a massive path going straight through it, especially because it's a main road. It's huge. It's very, very wide. Normally, the roads are about 2 or 3 blocks wide. So this one being 5 is going to stand out quite a lot, which is exactly what I want. I do want it to stand out because it is going to lead up to something very important, and it's going to run through the entirety of this base. Well, can we even really call it a base now? Or do we call it a kingdom? I feel like it has to be called a kingdom. I started off by removing the dirt and then adding in the stones afterwards, but I quickly found that this approach was taking way too long. So instead I tried placing slabs first, all the way down to the bottom, and then removed the dirt between the corner slabs, creating an almost perfect path. I then filled it in using stone blocks, leaving a few blocks empty, and then went through and threw down the other 3 types of stones in the holes to add a nice gradient. Now that this main path is filled in all the way, it's time to start working on the smaller roads. So we're going to start with a path that connects to the main road and then leads out the front of the cow farm. Now, thankfully, because obviously there's no slope on this land here, it's going to be super easy to kind of plan how I want this to go because I don't have to do any of those slabs. I can literally just dig and see exactly how I'm going to have this go, and, you know, doesn't have to be perfect because it's one of the smaller roads. And, you know, I've done a lot of these roads already, so I feel like I've kind of mastered how to do them. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that was fine. Now, I know it doesn't look like it's raining, but I've turned the rain off and the weather, so it's a little bit brighter because I found that obviously while I was recording and doing the time lapses, when it started raining, which was very frequent, it was very hard to see what was going on. So it still rains. You can kind of see the raindrops a little bit, but I've just removed pretty much all the blur and, you know, stuff that the shaders pack adds when the storm happens, just to make it a lot easier for us to see everything. I thought it was pretty annoying. See, there was a massive lightning. So yeah, it's definitely still raining. You can definitely still get struck, but yeah, it's just not ugly now. Okay, this is a pretty decent shape. I do have a lot of random stuff and I haven't got much space. So of course, I'm just going to chuck down the stone first because it's the easiest thing to do because I can then just place the other stones in between. I found this is so much faster than trying to do it all at once. Placing the other stones first is a little bit more tricky, but when you can just spam the stone in like this, it makes it so much easier. You know, you don't have to think about it. The texturing is kind of just done for you because then I can just come through like this super easily and just, you know, randomly placing the stone bricks wherever I see fit, just like that. Then I do the exact same with the polished andesite, and then once again the exact same thing just with the andesite slabs as well. And I found that this is so much quicker by like a factor of 5 or something. Doing it the other way, we'd probably still be working on the stone bricks, to be honest with you. But that's just one of the things I've learned. So obviously that path was, you know, done in what, a minute or 2. I think it's pretty good. There are a couple spots like here where it's a little bit too thin. I think that's really the only spot. So let me fix that up. As simple as this, mate. Watch this. Boom. Done. Fixed. Beautiful. Now the next path that we've got to work on is this one down here. Oh, hello, Mr. Creeper. Oh man. And dead. Okay. So this path was one of the first paths we created over this way. Obviously, instead of working towards the right, we just focused on the left and built up all of this area. But now it's time to work on this area finally. So this path is just going to extend maybe to about here because there's probably going to be something here. It is a dead end kind of area, so it's going to be a dead end road. So we're just going to, you know, dig out a random path. I think starting at the back and then moving to the front will be nice, just like that. In the future, depending on what we build here, we can always move it around, but I think this is going to be nice. I think this is a good shape to have for this. Now I'm just going to do the exact same thing that I did before, chucking in all the stone, just randomly, leaving a bunch of spots empty. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I don't think there's really any changes we need to make to that. So I add in the stone bricks, then the polished andesite, and of course, most importantly, the regular andesite, which is, I think, my favorite out of the other blocks except for the stone. I think stone and andesite always goes well together. You know, there's very few situations where they're not going to work well. They're very close, and yeah, I love to use them together all the time. Okay, so I'm happy with this path now. Now, it doesn't go very far, but it does go far enough. Now, I am going to use lanterns for these smaller paths. For the main road, though, I have an idea, and I think it's going to look really good, but obviously I want to finish all the smaller paths, at least get them in and have them have a little bit of light before I work on that main path. But the plan I have for the main path, I think, is going to look really good, and we're going to get on that very shortly. So just a fence post with a lantern on top, you know, works well, lights up the area a little bit, and when we get a little bit of extra stuff in there, it's going to fit in a little bit better. Right now, it looks okay. I think there's a few people that have mentioned the lanterns are a bit ugly, but I like them. I really like them. The lanterns on the fence post, it fits, you know, the style I'm going for. I'm going for that medieval style. And I think, you know, this isn't a huge built up area, so a lantern on a fence post is going to work well. Because remember, all of this area that we've built so far, this is not the main area. These are like the outskirts. This is where all the farms are. You know, it's not a built up area, so there's no need to have those fancy lights. I think a simple lantern on a fence is very, very nice and makes it feel cozy. You know, it feels very fitting. But for the main road, my friends, we're going to get busy. We're going to start building a little bit different, you know, different style. And as we move further up the mountain, that style is going to become more prevalent. I know it probably doesn't seem like it since we haven't built many things or buildings, but I can build buildings, I promise. You know, it's not just me terraforming. I do thoroughly enjoy terraforming though. Like, it's definitely my favorite. I hope that lightning didn't just set something on fire. That was awfully close. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick investigation. I don't know why that storm's lasting so long. It's lasted an entire day. I have no idea where that landed, but it looked like it was right here. Nothing's on fire. Okay, so we're good. We're good. But what path are we going to work on now? The paths add so much. Like, obviously, we're still very, very far from this being done, but the paths just add so much life to, you know, just an empty bit of grass. It just changes it up so nice. I love it. Now, I don't know how we're doing for materials. I don't think we're going to have enough to finish this off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the base and stock up on everything I need, and I'll meet you back here in a second. Okay, and we're back, and this time with my chest plate, because we've had way too many close calls. Obviously, you guys saw the one where I was on 1 heart and I had to fly away. I had a similar situation where I was on half a heart. Obviously, I didn't get that recorded up because I was doing a time lapse instead, and I figured nothing crazy would happen, but yeah, unfortunately I missed that one. But yeah, 2 close calls in a very small time, mostly because I had the elytra on, and you know, I got a bit swarmed, so got a little bit unlucky, but I guess lucky that we didn't die. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend this and just dig the entire thing all the way around, so then it goes around this little kind of curve here and then down to meet up with this road here. So it's going to be a very, very long road, and I think I'm going to try and have it stay roughly in the middle of the entire thing. Okay, so I've dug all the area out, and now it's time to fill it in with stone. I'm obviously going to just do the exact same thing that I've done before. Fill it in mostly with stone, but then having a couple gaps to fill it in with the other 3 stones. So I think that's going to make this area look so much better, because right now it is very bland. Now you can see I've also had it stretch off here and connect to the main road, because this one also has a little opening just to give it a little bit of main road access. Anyway, I'm going to fill this in and we're going to see exactly how this is going to look. Alrighty, and that is the road completely filled in now. All that is missing is the light, which as you can tell from the upper 2 levels really changes it, especially during the night, and hopefully stops the monsters from spawning. Even if it just limits it, it's definitely a win in my book, because there are so many spawning, and yeah, it's getting a little bit annoying. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in these lanterns throughout, and then this kind of level here and the top 2 most levels are going to be done, and then it'll be time to work on this part here, which is going to be a little bit of a trek. I'm not going to lie. That part I'm not looking forward to, because it is very, very weird. It's not obvious where the path should go, so it's going to be a little bit tedious to do, but you know, we'll figure it out, I'm sure. I'm not going to lie though, I really do like this addition. I'm very glad I decided to have it continue all the way through. This was the original kind of design I used. I think it was episode 3 or 4, and yeah, I do like it. Yo, this is a fancy zombie. And he's dead. Okay. Being fancy didn't get him very far in life. Alright, and just like that, the roads are lit up, and it looks a little bit better. There's still, you know, a lot we need to do eventually to have this place looking proper, but right now, having just the roads in is really making a difference. A huge difference. Now, the next thing we need to do is expand this road. Obviously, this main road is going to move down this way, but a side road is going to continue over this little land bridge here, and then connect all the way up to this side over here, which you can see will connect to this little road here. So it's a very, very long road, and yeah, it's going to take a little time, but then after that, we've got to move down here and work on this area. And then once the roads down here are done, we're pretty much done with the roads, to be honest with you. The next thing would be to do the main road, and then that will be all of the main major projects done. But of course, we still have to decorate the main road, which I'm very excited for, but we're going to do that last. So you're going to have to wait to see that at the end. So, yeah, keep watching. Oh my god. You know what? I don't want to deal with these guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go back to my base before we go down to that road there. And I'm just going to quickly lay in my bed to stop the insomnia. So we don't skip the night, we just lay in bed for a second because it stops the phantoms from spawning. And if I head straight outside, you're going to see it is still nighttime. We did not skip the night, we just got rid of that annoying insomnia. See, the moon is still right and bright in the sky. So now let's start working on this one here. I'm so excited to work on this main path. The details on the side, what I've got planned is going to be absolutely hectic. But we just have to go through and work on this part now. So doing this part here is going to be a little bit tricky because, you know, I'm definitely going to fall down there with how clumsy I am. But this side will be a lot easier because, as you can see, there's blocks right there. Oh, look at these creepers, man. There's always a bunch of mobs in this area. I think this was the area where I literally got down to a heart and then had to fly away. Man, if these creepers explode, I'm going to cry. Nope. Oh, man, that skeleton. Oh, come on, bro. That was disgusting. Bro used tactics against me. That's wild. Thankfully, it's just grass, so it's very easy to replace. And that is it all planned out. Now I just have to fill it all in. Alrighty, so that is now this little path filled in. And it does look a little bit weird because the main road just kind of looks like it becomes a side road, but obviously the main road twists this way. So once that's filled in, it'll look a little bit more obvious. But now next thing we need to do is connect this road through here, then down this way, and then all the way around to there, and then also down the side to here. I'm also going to have like a little dirt path come through here, just because it's very small through here. I might throw in a couple spruce slabs as well. I think that'll look nice, just to kind of have access through there. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll see you guys when that's ready. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're looking at now. Doesn't this place just look so much more real? Obviously, it's still pretty bland. There's like nothing going on here, but there are a lot of roads and they're actually, you know, leading to places. So, you know, it's a big difference. Now, I'm not going to actually fill this area in with anything just yet because I want you guys to tell me exactly what to put in these little spaces here. I've tried to keep the spaces pretty big so then I can pretty much fit whatever ideas you guys have. I want to do a video where I pretty much just go through and build everything that you guys suggest. So make sure to go down in the comments right now and tell me your idea for what I should add into these areas. Obviously, they have to try and fit in with this area, you know, things around it, different kinds of farms or builds or, you know, little details that I should add into this area to make it feel more alive. I want to make this area here kind of like a group project where you guys can tell me what to do and I'll just make it come to fruition. We can build it together, you know what I mean? But now it is time for the thing that I've been dreading. It's time to have this main road wrap around and connect all the way down this hill to about here. I have no idea how on earth I'm going to do it, but the only way to find that out is to get started. My shovel, my pick, they're almost dead, so I need to go and get that fixed before we can do anything. I'm going to make a quick journey to the end and I'll see you guys back at the main road to get started once everything is repaired. Alright, so everything is repaired and we're ready to go. Now the first thing I need to do is of course plan out where exactly this is going to go because we have to just dig a massive hole in here and have it connect to the other side. So the best thing for me to do is to level this down just to the point where it starts in the cave. Now obviously this is going to be a wall here. So I'm going to have it a couple blocks wide like that, and then it's going to start about here. Obviously I'll change this stone to grass in the future. I'm just using that to kind of mark out where each level of the road is going to be. I might actually have this curve this way like that. So now that we're here, I'm just going to kind of dig maybe 3 blocks wide just so I can kind of start getting a feel for how I want this shaped. I mean, I hope it's not too far away. I hope we don't have to make a massive cave here. I mean, the cave doesn't have to be the same width as this side. It can kind of be a lot thinner. So it should start now really curve into the right so we can start heading down the side of that mountain there. I don't even know how deep this is gonna have to go. We're already pretty deep, man. Oh my goodness. Oh, here we go. Here's the dirt. About time. Okay, and where does that put us? So if I go into free cam mode, oh, that puts us quite far out. I want it to be very tight. So I might have to try that again, to be honest with you. I think the best thing to do is to just fill this in. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot harder than I was expecting it to be. Where do we go from here? I think having it curve kind of this way a bit more. Oh, we're already here. Look at that. See, that makes more sense. That's still quite far out. Not really where I want it to be honest with you. but it is a lot closer. So, let's just fill it in again and see what we can do. Oh my goodness me. So it has to start from all the way back here, to be honest with you. I might start on the corner, just on the edge now. Okay, you know, that's close enough where I can kind of manipulate it enough to be able to get it bang on. Okay, so I'm gonna have to dig this a little bit to the left here. I'm gonna fill this out a little bit more like this. Obviously this will all become grass, don't worry. Just using the stone because it's pretty much all I've got in my inventory right now. That will curve like this. This will curve in a little bit more, just like that. All right, and then this is going to be the cave entrance here. Now we'll fill this in because this is not the cave entrance. Can't believe how way off I was. That was really bad. I had no idea where I was going. I thought I could just, you know, wing it. Obviously not. Hey man, come on. That's just disrespectful. Okay, I got to start filling my shulkers. I brought all these shulkers to start filling, and I haven't been filling them. What am I doing? Okay, we're kind of getting the shape going. I think there's just going to be a lot of like trial and error with this. Just kind of messing around until we get the kind of shape I'm wanting. I do want the ceilings to be pretty high. I don't want it to feel like closed off. I want it to feel big. I think we're getting there. We're definitely finding our footing. Okay, yeah, this is looking pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So now it's pretty much a good size. I'm very happy with this. I just need to start shaping it up so it actually starts looking a bit more cave-like. All right, and there we go. Now this is this cave kind of planned out. I think it's pretty nice. You know, it's big enough. It's definitely wide enough. It definitely just needs a lot more texture and slabs, and this thing will be looking perfect. But we'll deal with that soon. Now it's time to plan the descent. Okay, so I've added in the wall that's going to reach all the way to the top, or at least most likely where it's going to be. Now it should be pretty easy to just start heading all the way down towards that river down there. And I'm completely out of dirt, so I need to go back to my base to get more. Wow, this is the start of day 334. Man, we've been on this project for so long. 34 days. This is by far the biggest project we've done. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there, but I need to try and pick up the pace a little bit. So this is going to start curving again towards this river here, or sorry, this ocean. I do need to grab a bit of stone just so I can plan out the edge here. So I guess we're going to have something here, like a wall, and then I'll fill up here in with dirt, and then I need to somehow have like a path heading down a little bit this way, just so this can kind of link up with this main road here. Man, I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping this is going to work because I'm winging this. I have no idea how this is going to look when it's all done. So I need to get this stone down a little bit because this is a little bit too high. It's not actually supposed to be here. This just wasn't mined earlier. So I think though I do have an idea on how to get this kind of looking good. So if I mine all this down, then I have this dirt path link up to there, and then there link up to the main road. I think that might be the best kind of course or plan of action, if I'm being completely honest with ya. So the main road obviously links around and then comes down and finishes about here, which is still very high, and I did want it to be a bit lower, but I think I've had an idea. We can make like a cool huge dock over here, which with this main road would, I think, look awesome. So I think I'm going to keep it at this level just for now. Now, obviously the dirt, if it does become a dock, the dirt won't be the main block. It'll change. But this is still probably like 12 to 15 blocks above the seawater, or the sea level, sorry. But if we did build a dock, there would be a bunch of buildings around here. And I could move this out slightly and, you know, just do the thing that I do. But I think I could make something awesome. So I'm going to keep it here. This is where it's going to finish, just so we have a little bit of room to play with. But that means now I have to go and fill this area in here and then quickly fix up this mountain because, yeah, it doesn't look too good. And then I'll be able to start going ahead and detailing this entire main road, which I'm so excited to do. I think this has turned out pretty nice though. If I'm being completely honest, it's a lot better than I was kind of expecting. And yeah, I think it worked out pretty well with where the main road finished. I'll quickly add a little bit of, you know, variation into these walls because they're very straight. So I guess let me just quickly fill in this here because that's the biggest part. I think once this is filled in, it's going to look so much better. And there we have it. That wall is now filled in and it's looking so much better. I do need to fix this though because it is not looking good. Thankfully, that'll be pretty easy to do. Even though I don't really know what this area is going to look like once we're done, I might as well just build up like a little wall here, I guess. I guess going up to about this height is probably going to be the best. I'll add in a little bit of dirt just so we can see that this is kind of what I've planned for this little spot here. So look, it's not fantastic, but it's definitely a lot better. So much better. So now this is looking absolutely fantastic. I mean, just look at this. The main road leads all the way down. It's going to curl around and then come back out through here and lead down to the bottom. I think this is looking fantastic. So I'm pretty happy with this spot now. It's looking fantastic. So now I think it's time to start working on that main road. It's the final thing that we need to do. I want to get this thing absolutely pumping with detail because I have some epic plans for this area and it's going to look so good. I'm going to grab all the things and I'll see you back there when we're ready to start building. I have everything that we need and I'm ready to start putting in these details. So I've got all these shulker boxes full of things. I'm going to start with some stone and some andesite. I'm going to turn the andesite into polished andesite, and I've forgotten a workbench again. So I'm just going to break this log here and turn this one into a crafting table, you know, as we usually do. And I'm going to turn one of these stacks of polished andesite into stairs. So on each of these blocks that's in line with the slab, I'm going to replace it with a polished andesite block, and then on top is a stair like that. I'm going to do the same thing over here as well. And then there's going to be a couple blocks in between with stone bricks on the floor, just like this. And this will of course expand once we do that area here. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Now I'm going to do the same thing each time we go down, kind of just like this. So it's going to look a little something like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and replace the grass in between each of these polished andesite pillars that we've got going, just like that. Then I'm going to grab up some of these iron bars and I'm just going to place them on top of each of these stone bricks. And then it's going to look a little something like this, which, you know, looks not too fantastic, but just wait, we're not done yet. Now, I'm not 100% sure how I want these to go because there is two options. I can have it like this, go up by 2, boom, boom, boom. So this is the design I'm going to use. Now, I could have one on the exact opposite side, so I can have them kind of like that. And then every 2, I think 2 would work. So I could have them like this, or I can have it go back and forth with a 2-block gap. So there'd be, say, one here, and then a 2-block gap. There'd be another one, then another 2-block gap, and then another one. Boom. And then every 2 would be another one on this side, just like this. Or maybe it should be more like 1-block gap, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Let's go with that. That works for me. So a 1-block gap. We're going to replace each of the stairs with a little lamppost like this. So let me delete this one over here. Then this side will have it. All right. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think that's a good amount of light posts. And I think it fits in the area very nicely. Now, before we continue down that way, I want to add in the details to the side as well. So, of course, I'm going to add in some leaves and then add in a bunch of bone meal. No. Hold on a second. We can't forget the flowers, guys. Come on. Okay, before I bone meal, I'm going to add in the flowers. Ah, come on, man. Then now the flowers are in. So we're going to just go ahead and bone meal the rest. Oh my God. Did you guys see that? That was nuts. That reaction time was on point. Holy camole. That was insane. I thought it was going to explode for sure. And there we go. That's the little bit of greenery and color added into the sides. So now you can see this is how it's going to look. And I think it looks absolutely epic. You know, I love it so much. Look how good this looks. Oh my goodness. Obviously, it's going to look better once the other side has also got the little stone wall in there. And of course, it goes all the way down. So I guess let's just continue building. And now that is this area done. Well, at least up until here. I think it's looking really nice and, you know, it's definitely fitting for a main road. Now, I was worried because the biome does change here and it becomes a little more orange, but I think it's kind of okay, you know? It's not too bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, my issue now is this part. Obviously, there's no road here, so in order for me to continue, I need to build the road itself. So I'll just dig it out and see what we can kind of come up with. Oh my days, there is a lot of mobs in here. Oh my God, this is a mob party, guys. I think I'm just going to light this little cave bit up now because I don't want any other mobs to be spawning in here because that was pretty crazy. Okay, that should be sufficient. Oh my God, there are so many mobs down there. Look at that. What on earth? There's no way I'm going down there. Look at that. They've even turned on each other. That's crazy. Well, they can literally just walk up here. I'll just pick them off as they come up. Okay, the shape of this path is now good. I just need to obviously fill it in. Okay, that's the stone. And that is the 3 other blocks also added in. So if we take a look at this from the sky, you can see it very clearly kind of turns to the right there, and it's going to head down into that little cave, come out this side, and then this will be where it ends. Now for this cave, I do have a plan for it. So we're not going to do that today because quite frankly, I think I'd go crazy if I added that to the list as well. You know, this video can't be crazy long. I think it's already pretty long. But now as we exit, I need to fix this up so there's a little bit more grass on the edge. And I guess why not do the same thing we did before? Putting in the slabs first. I think we'll go to about there just because I don't know if this path is going to go this way or that way just yet. So we'll finish it there. Now I'm just going to dig in a line from this slab to this slab, just like this. Remove all the blocks in the middle. Then as we go up, same thing, just like that. Now we'll fill it all in with, now of course, I'm going to add in my random ass stone exactly like that. And now that path is now complete. All that's left to do is add these extra details in around here and then also down here. So let's get that done right now. And now that is this main road completely done. So this is what it looks like now. Such a huge change. Like, this is insane. We are, of course, sitting on day 342, so it's taken 42 whole days to be able to get this done. And with that, that makes this by far the largest project that we've ever worked on at a single time. So I'm actually amazed we got it done this quick, to be honest, because this is so much work. But now, I mean, this place is looking absolutely mega. We've got the main road that will take us all the way down to the bottom, and I think it's turned out really nice. In fact, let's have a quick walk from the top all the way to the bottom, just so we can, you know, admire the hard work. I hope that looked as cool as I thought it did. If not, then you probably didn't actually see me go down the path, to be honest. I'm sure it turned out pretty cool. I'm sure it would have been nice. But yeah, this place is looking absolutely insane. If you remember, this sheep farm was literally surrounded by nothing, but now there's awesome land all the way around it. And we're not even done because obviously only the main road has proper detail on it. Everything else is either just empty grass and roads or, well, nothing. But as I said before, make sure to comment down below what you guys think I should add into these areas because, yeah, I want to give you guys an opportunity to, you know, put your ideas into this world. But I'm so happy that this section is done because I was kind of dreading doing it, especially because of this massive mountain that was right here. But now that's all done and it's looking absolutely perfect. This area is looking so good, guys. I'm not even going to lie. I'm so happy with it. I hope you guys like it as much as me. Hopefully I don't have to do that again for a while. I'm probably not going to do any terraforming for, you know, at least 100 days because that was a lot. I'm not going to lie. That was a whole lot of work. But we're on day 342 and we've only built 4 buildings. We've built the outpost, the panda farm, the cow farm, and the spruce farm, which for 300 days is 1.33 buildings per 100 days, which is definitely not enough. So today it's time to break that bad habit and build ourselves our first official village. Now, so far we've only built in this area here behind us. Everything is right here. So I think it's time to expand our footprint a little bit and take over a little bit more of this world. And I think this area over here will be perfect. It is huge, it is kind of flat, and it is ready for our taking. So the plan is to have this main road stretch across this little lake here, or river I guess, and connect to the other side. Let me just quickly get rid of this tree because it's kind of in the way. Now, how on earth am I going to do this? Well, I actually don't know yet, so we got to figure that part out. I started by building a straight line across to the other side. I then attempted to make a curve but failed miserably when I couldn't expand its width while maintaining the curve. So I instead counted out a perfect curve, which was much easier to expand simply by adding extra blocks to both sides of the curve evenly. Alright, now that this bridge is in place, it's time to start moving on. So the main road will obviously wrap through this bridge here, and then it's going to continue through this forest here. Now, obviously on this side of the bridge, it's no longer going to be part of that kind of kingdom. It's going to become more rural. So the path design is going to change to coarse dirt. So let's go grab a bunch of coarse dirt. Grab me shulker box. We got a bunch of gravel, and we of course have a bunch of dirt as well. That should be plenty. Now I will use a mixture of other things to add a bit of texture to the path, but for now coarse dirt is going to be all we need just to mark off where it's going to go, just so we can get a better idea of how this place is going to start looking. So I guess we'll just start digging. We're going to have to take these trees down as we mow through this land and absolutely terraform it. Now you see this beach? I don't like it. It's way too wide and, it doesn't suit the area. So what I'm going to do is turn all this sand all the way through into dirt, just so we have a bit more space to work with. But first we're going to get this coarse dirt path going through it. Now, I do want the path to start curving up towards this way a little bit, just so it runs through the middle. Man, we are not having luck with these mobs. I'm getting absolutely smacked around. This is not fun at all. And that witch is chasing me too. Now I've got slowness. Oh my days. Hey, he's giving poison to the creeper. Oh, great. I'm getting out of here. I don't even want to deal with that right now. I'm not going to lie. That's crazy. But you can kind of see the path now, kind of stretching through the land. Obviously, it looks really weird because there's no details at all. It's literally just dirt. But I have some huge plans for this area. I'm not going to lie. This is awesome. It's so much more flat than what we're dealing with over there. So it's a different kind of building. So I think it's going to be a nice little break from building out the huge mountains. Not saying that I don't love it, but sometimes it's just nice to do something a little bit different. And with us expanding out this way, it's going to be an opportunity to do that and have this world be a little bit more than just a massive mountain. I gotta stop letting these creepers explode, man. It's a dangerous business. But of course, this wouldn't be a Jozza video if we didn't do a little bit of terraforming. Now, I'm going to quickly make up a bunch of chests just because I know there's going to be a bunch of materials that we're kind of just going to lose. So I'm going to make like a temporary working area over here. And since we got logs anyway, we might as well. Nothing crazy, just 4 double chests for now. Just because I don't really want to be working out of shulker boxes this whole time. Now I want to do something on this bit here because it seems like it could be a nice little, area here for us to make a little mountain kind of thing, if you know what I mean. I know I said that we're not going to be building mountains, but come on, man. I just can't help myself. I want this to be raised by 1 block, I think. Oh, maybe this is fine. You know what? This is a quick drop here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig this back. Probably to about here. There we go. So now it's not just a quick drop there. It's a little bit more even. It looks weird now, especially because there's dirt and coarse dirt, so you can't really see the coarse dirt as well. But once the grass grows, it'll be a lot better. Let me just get rid of this tree here. Now I want to bring this out a little bit and then have it come back in like this. And then just fill all of this in here. And then I'm also going to shape up this area a bit more too, because this is a bit strange. Just like this. Don't worry, this will all make sense once we start building the bridge especially. Because I already know exactly how I'm going to build the bridge. I have a cool idea. I hope it's cool. I hope it looks good. In my head, it looks good, okay? And that's the main thing, all right? I don't know if it's actually going to look good in real life, but we'll see. We'll find out. Now, I do want like a little branch off here. So let me grab more coarse dirt. Maybe we'll go from here over this side. Then we'll have this come down. I'm just going to place in the grass instead of dirt because I can't really see where the coarse dirt is. Now we can. That's a lot better. Maybe this needs to go over a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. And of course, going to do the little thing that we do with the stone. Okay, so you can kind of see what I'm going for here. Now that we've got the stone in, makes it a lot more obvious. This is going to come down quite a bit more just so we can have a little bit of a more flat area because this is very, very hilly and I don't like that. So kind of just around to here, at least for now. This is the plan, but we do still need to turn all of this sand into dirt. So let's get started on that. So initially I wasn't actually sure how I wanted this side to look, but after I started digging and kind of sketching out the area, ideas started flowing and I kind of went a little bit overboard. So obviously I thought I was only going to do up to here, but I ended up going all the way down to this side over here. And in this area here is pretty much where the little village is going to be. I'm going to push this back a little bit more and have another retaining wall kind of going in the back of the village itself. And then obviously I'm going to fix up this area a little bit because it's a little bit still weird, but I did my best to keep it at the natural height, only kind of just making it a little bit easier to build on and, you know, look a lot better. Now with this back wall here, I added in this massive retaining wall, which is going to be wrapping around this side as well, but we're not going to work on this today. This is going to be for another project in the future when we start building over that way. But for now, we're only building in this area here. So obviously the main road is going to flow through here, and there's going to be farms and stuff all around this area here as you lead towards the village, because the theme for this village is of course going to be a farming village, because you guys know how much I love farming. So this area is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think we're going to be able to build a pretty nice village over here. And you know, it's been pretty nice admiring our massive build over there. You can kind of see it in the distance, but it looks so cool. And once we get all this area done, it's going to look even better. Obviously I went to the end and I fixed up all my tools because my shovels were absolutely destroyed. That's why I couldn't keep going. But I've just got to do a little bit more, you know, just pushing this back a little bit more, adding a retaining wall in, and then we can start kind of planning where the village is actually going to be situated. So I'm going to have a really quick time lapse this time of me just absolutely destroying this and getting it all to the right level, and I'll see you guys again very soon. And now all that terraforming is done, and this is the area we've got now. It is such a huge area. Hold on a minute. Bam. Obviously there is a lot more to do. So for example, on this top part here, and then the outskirts over here, but that's not really going to be part of the village. The village is going to rest in this kind of circular area here. You can see it's a big flat space ready to go. So now that this area is nice and ready to go, I can get this path kind of figured out, because right now it's not really going anywhere, it just kind of stops. Now you can see I've got a lot more chests and the majority of them are full. We have so much stuff from this so far, but I've tried to keep it kind of all consistent so I can find things a bit easier. I'm also going to quickly grab up some torches actually, because now that this whole area is ready to go, we can light it up. Now this of course will just be temporary, just to stop the mob spawning, because while we're building, the worst thing is to be, you know, fighting these guys. If you have a sneaky creeper jump up on ya, that'll ruin everything. So this will be the last night where hopefully we have to fight anything. Okay, that is the area lit up. At least now it's going to be a lot easier to, you know, deal with the nights. I also found 2 chests, which I wasn't expecting at all. Had some emeralds, gold, iron, a single diamond, some TNT, and a heart of the sea and some fish. What's the other one have? I didn't actually check this one. Pretty much similar stuff. Potion of water breathing. Nothing too crazy. Iron sword, that can just get out of here. I'll just chuck that stuff in here, and now we can start planning this thing out. So this coarse dirt path should continue this way, then curve out this way a little bit, then back up here, because it's going to be like a little kind of path to head up to that next level, if that makes any sense. So now if I just widen this up to 5 blocks, that'll give us like a good kind of baseline to start with. Thankfully the grass has grown all around, so we'll be able to easily see where this coarse dirt path is heading. It's a little bit harder when there was dirt on the sides, but no, the grass will make it a lot nicer. And we're out of coarse dirt. We almost made it to the end. Now this place is absolutely huge. Obviously it doesn't look big because there's nothing really to compare it to right now. It's just a big open space. But if you look at this area here, then you kind of look at this area over here that we've built before, you know, it's kind of comparative. It's very, very big as well. And it's literally only been just this little bit that we've done there. But I think it's going to be able to rival that eventually. Obviously this is only the first project we've done, and this place is huge. We're still going to build on this side too, but it's just interesting to see. I was expecting it to be a lot smaller, but it's definitely holding up against it. So I'm just going to grab up a bunch of gravel, and I'm also going to grab a bunch of leaves. Don't forget the jungle, so we're going to need them as well. Actually, I think we're going to need a couple more things. So let me grab a shulker box. I'll chuck all this stuff in there, and I'm also going to grab some cobbled deep slate. 4 stacks should be enough, and I'm going to grab some tuff as well, just so we've got it down there with us, because making this trip to the base is actually quite far. And I don't really want to be doing that all the time because it is very, very far. Like it takes maybe, a minute each way, maybe 30 seconds, between 30 seconds and a minute. But, when you're doing that constantly, it takes up a lot of time. If we didn't have the elytra, it would take us like probably 5 minutes to walk to our base if we were running, which is crazy. But you can see this project has expanded quite far. We've got 12 double chests and pretty much all of our shulker boxes here, mostly full. So there's a lot of things that we've got that we need. And yeah, this project is well underway. So let's quickly finish up this road so we can now finally... Oh man, it's almost night time. That sucks. We're finally going to be able to start seeing this project come into life. And I'm so excited to see this done. This is going to be absolutely awesome. Like this is, obviously we've still got some retaining walls here. But over here, like you've got, the retaining walls are so much bigger. But the land, like the flat land that we've got is so much less. There's so much less to work with. We have so much space here. It's insane. I'm not going to lie, having the chests all the way over here, this is still quite far, having to walk back and forth from all the way over there to over here constantly is taking quite a lot of time. But I want to start planning the area using some spruce. Spruce is going to be the main trim that we use on these builds, and I need to find my spruce saplings because I know we have no logs. There they are. Beautiful. But I know we've got saplings, so we can make up a bunch of trees. Now I don't want to ruin all this dirt because I've literally just placed it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up to this little hill here, which eventually is going to get destroyed, or I guess brought down a little bit, so the grass will get mined, or maybe even just here. I'm going to do it here. I'm just going to bone meal a bunch of these. Obviously the pods will grow, but, we'll delete that eventually. At least it's out of the way for now. We're not going to work on this spot up here today. This is another project in the future, alright? But I'm just going to bone meal as many of these things as I can, and I guess just, see how many logs we can get. I want to try and get a full inventory because, spruce is by far the best log, but we'll see. I guess I'll just go for the entire night and see what I can come up with. So I'll see you guys very soon. So I didn't get a whole inventory, but we got pretty close. We should have enough for quite some time. Now the first thing I need to do is plan out where this main building is going to be. This is going to be the biggest building out of everything, and it's going to be sitting at the back here somewhere. So I guess the best thing to do is just plan out its proportions. So I think I'm just going to place down logs and just kind of see what I can come up with. Okay, so this is my plan. I've just got a bunch of logs placed down right now, but this is kind of planning where these sections of the walls will go. So now I just got to build these up. Now I usually go about 4, so about there. I think generally that's a pretty good height to be. And then I just connect them together. And I think the front door is going to be here. There's going to be like a little front bit here that will be just one story high. Now this middle bit will be 2 stories high. And then there's going to be another little sort of outdoor thing over here, which will be once again 1 story high. And then on this side, there's going to be like a cow pen type of thing. So, or not a cow pen, sorry, just a outdoor stable thing or something. I'm not sure what to call it. It's not going to be held up by logs the whole way. There's going to be some fences in between. I think that will look nice. I'm going to go with that for now. And of course, I'm going to strip every single one of these logs because stripped spruce logs look the best by far. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, there we go. Now, hold on a second. I'm pretty sure there's actually a couple logs on top. I need to go up to see them. Let me have a look. I think, nope, this one, yep, corner. Okay, that's all of them. There's just one. Now, to build the next level, okay, no, hold on a second. I think this is a little bit low. I want to increase this by 1 block. Just seems very, very small. Like only having these 9 blocks doesn't feel right. So let me go ahead and expand this up every single one by 1. I thought there was something looking a bit weird. So I'll do that and I'll, of course, shave all these down. And you know what? I'm going to grab some slabs just so I can create a maybe temporary staircase. We might have to move it in the future, but a staircase inside to get us to the next level. So I guess the most obvious spot to put this would be kind of here, I think, going up like this. All right, now we can get to the top level easy. Now I'm going to connect all these together just like that. And now I'll remove this little layer here that was 1 block too short. Man, the sky looks so beautiful at this time. So purple and majestic. I'm in love with it, guys. I love it so much. I think this side might actually need to come down by 1 block. I think that'll add a little bit of extra depth to the building, but we're going to leave it for now. I'll see how it looks once we get everything else kind of, built in a little bit, because we still have to do the second level. I think I might do a similar thing with this bit here, because to me it looks a little bit strange. But for now, I'm going to... Oh, come on, mate. Get out of here. Didn't you see the torches everywhere? Oh, hold on. I've missed this one here. Now, I'm going to do the exact same design for this middle bit. It's just going to be a square. So I'm going to go up by 5 blocks, then just connect them in the middle. And I'll do that all the way around until we have a perfect rectangle. rectangle for the second floor. All right, there we go. There's the shape. Now, real quick, I'm going to get something that'll make it easier to see during the night, especially when we're building, because I want to make sure that I kind of explain my entire thought process as I build this, because we've never built a building before. So this will be, well, we've never built anything big like a town. So I want to make sure as I'm building it, I want to explain to you what I'm thinking. So maybe you guys can learn something for building. I don't know. If you guys enjoy that, let me know. Otherwise, I won't do it again. But yeah. I'll go get that thing that allows you to see a little bit easier during the night, because, you know, we're going to be building a lot during the night. It'll be a bit weird. So hopefully it's a little bit easier to see now. I'm sure it is. Yeah, at least during the night, it'll make it a little bit easier to see what we're doing. So I do think the next thing to do is the roof, because the roof makes everything look completely different, and you guys will see what I mean by that. I used to wait to do the roof until the very last, but now I do it kind of, you know, second after the main part, building all the beams. Now to do this, I'm going to need some dark oak logs, which I'm pretty sure I have enough of at the base. I'm going to quickly go back and grab some. Man, this base just looks so gorgeous. I love flying over it. It's awesome. All right, we haven't got much dark oak logs, but we've got a few. Hopefully that'll be enough. I do have some slabs and stairs, so I'll take them with me. And I might as well take these spruce ones as well, because we're probably going to need them, and that should be good. We'll head back. Look how strange it is with just one random building there. It's so strange. Okay, I am going to need some scaffolding. Do I have any of that on me though? Okay, I do. I've got a stack. That's nice. Bring the crafting table over, because there's no point having it there if we're going to be doing all the building over here, you know what I mean? So to start off with, we're going to do the trim out of dark oak, and this should be kind of exactly in line with the top of this slab, and then it should move up by one. We've done this type of roof before. Very simple, just moves up by one half slab each time. And then in the middle, there's a trim connecting to the house as well. Super simple, super easy, definitely gets the job done. Now, over on this side, we're going to do the exact same thing, just having these slabs reach across, build up to the middle, just like that, and then reach across to the side. Now, on this side, I want to do something slightly different. It's just going to have a slab trim, just like this. And then instead of meeting in the middle, it's just going to meet up to the side of this building here, right up to there. Now, I don't know if it should connect in front. I'll find out later. I'll just do that on both sides. And for the main roof on the very top, I'm going to use stairs because it's, you know, the main roof needs to be a little bit bigger, and I'm going to have it reach across the front. Of course, a little overhang, and then we'll just have this do the same thing the slabs did, just build up to meet in the middle. Then we'll have a little bit like this and like that. Little, you know, not a crazy design, but you know, it works. And you can already tell we haven't filled in the roof yet, and this already changes the build substantially. Very, very different to just having a frame. And like I said, I used to build all the walls in and detail it all and then do the roof last because I hated doing roofs, but I spent a lot of time trying to, you know, better my skills with it. And now I realize the roof is what makes a build look good. So you should always try and focus on that first, at least in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows, but it works for me. Now, I'm also going to connect these together with slabs. This will complete the main roof trim, and we should have a decent look at how it's going to, you know, come out now. So let's have a quick gaze. I think it's looking pretty nice. That's a nice, decent sized building. For the main building, there's going to be a lot of storage in there. There's of course going to be buildings on the outside, you know, making a little village. It's not going to be a huge village, maybe 5 or 6 houses, and you know, it's going to be nice and cozy. But this is a very nice main building. Now, I was going to use spruce for the rest of the roof, but I think I might use polished deep slate instead. I think that might be a bit nicer. Now, the reasoning for this is because with deep slate, you can add in a little bit of texture. You can use polished deep slate and deep slate bricks. And I think it might look nice instead of just having the spruce, which you can't really texture as easily. That does mean we're going to have to go all the way back to the base again, because I definitely don't have enough deep slate. I only brought a little bit. We're going to need to get more fireworks anyway, so hopefully we got paper in there. I'm sure we do. We got a ton of deep slate though, which is good. I can drop off some of this spruce now because I know we're not going to be using it, at least not for the roof. Okay, I don't have any paper, but I'm going to grab some gunpowder, grab a little bit more deep slate. That should be sweet. And we have no more rockets. Gonna have to walk all the way to the sugarcane farm. That should be enough sugarcane. I don't think we need much. Oh yeah, we got 3 stacks from that. That's beautiful. All right, now we're good on fireworks again for, oh my goodness. Now we're good on fireworks again for some time. Wow, this place is already looking so much nicer. Even with that build, you know, just having the roofs on it just really changes it quite a lot. It's quite nice. I do like it. You know what? I'm going to craft up some chests just because I'm sick and tired of running back and forth. I'm just going to chuck this bad boy in here, you know, throw in some stuff that we're not exactly using right now. We make polished deep slate by using just cobbled deep slate in here. Very easy to do. And we make deep slate bricks by using the polished deep slate as again. So we craft polished deep slate and then we craft the polished deep slate into deep slate bricks, if that makes any sense. We turn them bad boys into some slabs and now they should look pretty nice together. We place them in. They should match very nice. Yeah, look at that. It's a very slight texture difference, but it's enough to kind of shake it up a little bit. That's what we want to do. We want to be shaking and baking. There we go. Beautiful, mate. All right. Now I'll do this for the other roofs. I want to make sure there's more polished deep slate than the bricks. Just a little bit of bricks here and there. Mostly the regular polished deep slate, but yeah, I think that'll be nice. Oh my days, guys. Look at that already. That's just 2 of the roofs done. We haven't done anything else. Just literally planning the size and shape of it and adding in a roof. That's how much of a difference a good roof adds to a building. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the roof except using stairs, of course. So I'll craft up some of them bad boys. I don't think that's going to be enough, but let's give it a go. Oh no, we've got more than enough. Look at that. We just have to do the other side and we've still got half a stack of both. There we go. So that is the roofs kind of done. Now if we look at that from free cam, it's, you know, looking a lot nicer. And there's literally no walls. So that's a good thing. If it looks good with no walls, then you're doing something right. Now I'm going to grab up a bunch of stone and I'm going to grab up a bunch of oak logs, which we got a lot from when we were clearing this because this is all forest. We broke a lot of trees. We're going to have to replace them. Don't worry. We'll fix it up. Now across the bottom, I'm going to add in a line of stone bricks across the entire bottom floor, just like this. And then I'm going to add in stone to fill in the rest of it with some windows, of course. And there's going to be a door right here. So we'll open that up. No point having a window there because there's a staircase on the other side. Same here. Oh, actually, there could be a window because we could have like a study something in there. There'll be another door here because this will be like semi outside. And I guess for the rest, we'll just add in a bunch of windows. And for the top floor, I'm going to use a mixture of oak planks and stripped oak logs. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to fill in the roof just so we can walk around just like this. Now I'll go ahead and do the same thing. I'll just fill it all in. But this time I'm adding a little bit of texture using the stripped oak logs, which matches up very nicely to the oak planks. This is now what it looks like with the walls, which makes a very big difference. Now keep in mind there is no details at all and there's no texture on this stone, which is going to change it again once we add in the andesite. But this is already coming together pretty nicely. I also don't really love the roof, so I want to add in like a little cove thingy. So I'm going to need all the roof stuff. Got to figure out how I'm going to get that in there. So I'm going to remove this one here. We might move this one as well and change that to a corner one like that. And we'll go up and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Now we'll go up, but this time we're going to have a block just to make it a little bit taller because otherwise it's going to be very square. Or triangular, I guess. And we'll do this. And then we'll have the exact same thing we did on the other sides. And then connect it through like that. And I'll just connect the roof together. Just like that. And now if I just delete these here, it should all connect together nicely. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. That just adds a little bit more detail because it was very flat. I think that's very nice. So now moving on from here, we're going to grab some spruce logs and place them on the corners, stripped of course. And I'm going to get some buttons and place them on the ends just to add a little bit of extra detail to them as well. I'm going to do this on the bottom here too. On all the faces where the logs meet up in the middle, just going to add these sticky outy bits. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now this thing's coming together nicely. There's a little hole here, so I'm going to fill that in. That's better. Guys, this house is coming together so nice. Now I'm going to make a bunch of spruce fence gates. I'm going to place them and open them between these little sticky outy bits. I'll make a bunch of spruce fences and somehow tie these in here. Well, maybe I should have used dark oak fences actually. Yeah, they're a bit hard to see. So I guess those spruce fences are, well, they're not useless. I guess I can hang them here. Maybe have some lanterns or something. But then these would need to be closed for it to make sense. That's fine. Let's go ahead and make up a bunch of dark oak fences. 64 should be more than enough. We'll just connect them like this. And then where they don't meet, we'll just add in a stair like that. And there we go. That's looking a little bit better now. I think I'm definitely going to need more fences though. Oh my goodness. There we go. We got 2 stacks. That should be more than enough. So I'll just add these dark oak fences to the top level as well. I guess I'm just going to add these fences to the back side too, so we can have some lanterns there. Okay, it's definitely coming along. It's coming along nicely. I do want to drop this front door back a little bit. Seems a little bit weird. I'm going to add in another line of spruce logs like this. Then just add in that stone and the stone bricks again. Just so I can add these little bits like this in. I think that's a bit nicer. And you know what? I'll add a stair there just to add a little bit of extra detail. Now for this, I'm going to change this to be like this. Add a window there. You know what? I'm going to do that for all of the windows too. I'm going to add in some stairs. I think that's nice. Just like this. Okay, this is looking a lot nicer now. So it's definitely coming along pretty good. Let's try and add a little bit more. I don't know what to do here, to be honest with you. That's going to have to stay like that for now. Now over here, does just spruce fences look okay? I think it looks fine. Oh, I've made way too many slabs then. My bad. Way too many. I'm going to fill this roof in so you can't see the deep slate on top because it looks a bit funny. There we go. And I'll do the same thing over here because it looks funny here too. And I guess I better do the same for this roof here on the second floor. Now we'll use ladders to get to the top floor because there is that little window up there we need to get made. So I think this side here should have the ladder, and I'll just need to fill this in using the textured oak and oak planks on all three sides. So now we've got this top floor, this second floor, and the bottom floor. But it does look a bit funny with nothing in the middle there. So let me try and get up there and add in a little bit of detail. Just using some stairs and slabs like that. That should be fine. Now let's have a look at the building now. It's looking much nicer. Definitely a lot nicer, but there's still a lot we need to do. Now these are very flat, so I'm going to add the little sticky outy bit. Then I'm going to add like a little design here, just using some stairs and slabs, just like that. That should be fine. And then we'll add in the fences like that. I think that's nice. And do not forget the button. There we go. I'll do the exact same thing on the other side. I might actually raise that slab here. Oh my days. Oh, I did it again. I just fell off that thing twice. There we go. Now I do like that last slab raised, so I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And that's looking pretty good. So this house is now kind of planned. It's not fully detailed. It still doesn't look finished. It's very far from being finished, but at least we kind of have a template to follow off for the rest of the houses. So I'm going to just go ahead and plan out the rest of the houses in kind of like a circle shape, I'm thinking, and I'll see what I can come up with. So yeah, enjoy the time lapse. And welcome back. Now, obviously I was very busy and I got all of these houses done. Well, at least set up. They haven't got any details. It's just the walls and the roofs all added in. And I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. It's a nice kind of area. But for now, I want to go ahead and get these walls around just connected up. This is going to be what stops, I guess, people from just walking in. There's going to be like a little gate. You can't just walk in between the houses. So that would be a little bit bad if they could. So I'm just going to go and add these walls in, which is made up of just 3 different types of log: stripped oak, normal oak, and of course, spruce log. So I'm just doing this around the entire thing between the buildings just to make sure that there's only 3 ways in. This entrance here, and then this entrance between these 2 houses here. Alright, and that is the walls around done. Now at least you can't get into this little village here without going through one of the 3 gates. Now it's time to do my favorite part: detailing the area. So I'm going to start by adding in some dirt paths to connect to all of the front of the houses, just like that. So you can see it from the sky. It looks a little bit better just with that one detail. Now the next thing I need to do is take my Silk Touch shovel and come over to this podzol here and just collect it all. I guess it worked out kind of well that we, had to get all that extra spruce log. So we got just over 2.5 stacks, which should be enough. Now what I'm going to do is just place this around the outside of the coarse dirt and a little bit around the dirt paths as well. Just like that, there's a little bit of podzol now around all the roads. Now I'm thinking some of these dark oak fences, or maybe some dark oak stairs as well, will look pretty nice at the entrances. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the size of these logs just here, and I'm going to add some fences just like this, just to obviously signify that this is the entrance a little bit better. I'm going to do the same thing on all the other ones as well, just like that. And there we go. So it's always little things that make a big difference. So there's a lot of little things we need to do here. The next little thing is going to require these spruce fences. So I guess it worked out well. We didn't end up making them for no reason. I just want to place them along here, just in random places, just to add a little bit of extra oomph. Oh, there's skeletons. I've noticed a lot of the mobs are spawning on top of these houses for some reason. I don't know why. So nothing too crazy with the fences, just some of them scattered around. I'm going to need to make a couple more. Where are me logs at? Give me all damn logs, my boy. So like I said, obviously this is going to be absolutely insane. I've literally only got a couple houses with just walls and roofs done. This one here, which has a little bit extra detail, isn't even finished having all the detail added. So it's going to look even better. But once all of them have detail and the area has detail too, it's going to look absolutely nuts. Now, I think I'm going to quickly remove all these logs in the middle. I'm just kind of putting them in there to kind of get an idea of shape and size. Now I'm going to plan where the trees are going to be. So I'm going to try a different type of tree this time. I'm going to just have a spruce fence just going up in a straight line, just like that. And then it's literally just some leaves placed all around it. Something like this. You know, it's super simple, but it's definitely nice. It's custom and, you know, just adds a nice bit of green. And I think I like this style of tree. There we go. That's another one. Now I'm just going to go through and add a bunch of these just around in between the houses. Now with the trees in, this is what it looks like now. Such a big difference these trees make. Now the next thing I need to do is go ahead and add in some shrubbery around the edges as well. So I'm just going to place in some random leaves just around the grass areas where I want some, you know, little gardens to be. Kind of like this. I'm going to place a little in front of some of the houses, just like this. You know, get a little bit of extra green in here. All right, and now this next change is going to be one of the biggest. Adding the bone meal in. This just adds in a bunch of short and tall grass and of course some flowers, which gives us a nice addition of some color. The yellow and red flowers that pop up when we put in the bone meal add such a nice different kind of contrasting color. I'm gonna add like a little garden through here, so I'll just add some dirt paths. Might add in some benches and some extra stuff in there soon, but for now I'll just bone meal the area. Now of course I am bone milling all the grass just around the edges, but as we add in the details we'll have to remove some, and as we add in some extra things, so you know there's not going to be this much grass around. This is definitely going to be, you know, the maximum, and we'll just remove it as we need to. All right, there we go. And now if you look at this, such a massive difference adding in that tall grass. It really just fills in the area, and obviously like I said, it's still just houses. That's it. That's all we've got. There's no extra details in there yet. Now, how could this be a farming town if there's no patches of wheat or zombies with swords? Get out of here, man. What I'm going to do is find some places where I think a wheat farm will look nice. Like for example, right in here, I'm going to remove some of the tall grass and short grass. I'm just going to go ahead and plant in a bunch of wheat. I'm not going to bother hydrating it because we're not going to use these as farms. They're just for aesthetics, just like that. The reason it's getting hydrated is because it's raining. You can't see the rain because I've turned it off, but it is raining. That's why you can see it getting slightly hydrated. But of course, the main thing we want is just for this to grow. So I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's grown. Not going to bone meal every single bit of wheat that we make, but just as a kind of example, wheat in my opinion is the best looking crop. It just looks so good. So having a little couple farms like that just scattered, maybe one in here, I think it's going to really change this area, make it look very nice. So I'm going to also add one in on this side as well. There we go. That's another wheat farm added in. Now the next thing we can do is add in some rose bushes and peony bushes. Gonna need to go to my farm to get some of those though, because I have absolutely none on me. That should be enough. We got about 32 total, and I know it's dark, but just look at this place as we fly over. Place is looking absolutely epic. So I'll just go through and add in these flowers in here, and it's going to add so much color to the area. These flowers are absolutely goated. There we go. We got some of those flowers added in now, and it's starting to come together really nicely. I'm going to just place these torches around here just so we can eventually build here. But I think for all the extra details around, this is pretty good. What we need to do now is finish the details on the houses. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Just detailing the rest of the houses, adding in windows, you know, all the extra details that we did to this house. I'm going to do that to all of them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a second when that is done. There was supposed to be a time lapse, but for some reason, when I was recording, the file got corrupted. So I couldn't actually do anything with it. I tried to save it, but I couldn't find any possible way. But we only did some minor details to all these buildings. I just pretty much copied exactly what I did to this one over onto the other ones, adding in the dark oak fences, some buttons and some hanging lanterns, as well as adding in all the windows and some doors to the front. I also made sure to detail kind of the outsides of the buildings, so at least all sides of the village is now detailed. In terms of the buildings, now the next thing we need to do is fill out some farmland, because if this is a farming village, there obviously needs to be some farms right around it. So I'm gonna add some farms around and try and figure out where this dirt path is going to go, and we're going to do that together. So I'm going to grab up my coarse dirt. I don't actually know how much I have left. I don't think I do have much. I'm going to grab some spruce slabs as well. Okay, we got some coarse dirt in here. Look at that. We got a bunch. Oh, but my shovels are pretty much dead. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to quickly go repair them in the end. I'll be back in a second. All right, now all the tools are fixed, so we can go ahead and get this started. So I've started adding some dirt paths that are going to wrap around through some farmland. This one's connected to this entrance here. It's going to wrap around through here and then all the way to the main road here. This main road's going to connect down to this water. And we got phantoms. Oh my days. I should have slept when I came back from the end. Oh my days. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Bro, they're doing major damage. Oh my days. That's crazy. I just got absolutely swarmed. That's nuts. I was not expecting that at all. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, this path that leads from this entrance here is going to lead down to the water. This turtle needs to move. I don't want to have to kill it. It's too slow. Sorry. Oh, okay, he didn't die. It's your lucky day, mate. Okay, there we go. That path is now filled out a little bit more, so we kind of know where it's going to go. Now, there's going to be another kind of smaller path, just like this one, that's going to link through here. And it's going to wrap around to meet up on the opposite side where that other entrance is. This main road over here. Kind of just like that. So now, obviously, there's a path that wraps through there all the way around to the other side of the main road. Now I'm going to grab up some leaves because these leaves is going to be the dividing bit between each different farm. I mainly have spruce leaves, so that's kind of a problem. I can always grab some more later. Some more jungle leaves is most likely what I'm going to grab, but I'm going to use these to kind of section off where the farmland should end, just like this. And then this will continue down here as well, of course. And then once again down here, just wrapping up towards where this main road is. And then it'll, of course, continue on the other side of the main road, just towards this little stone bit here. Boom. Okay. So, oh man, not another baby zombie. Get out of here, bro. Now, I do want to divide this up a little bit more. I think a divider here, so pretty much where that tree is, I think will be nice. So just through here, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So this will be divided between two different farms. And then I guess over here is another spot where there's quite a lot of space. Or maybe not. Maybe, no, yes. Okay, so I'm going to place some leaves through here, just like that. So now we've got kind of 3 sections here. I'm going to do a very similar thing on this side here. Just placing in some leaves across here. And then I guess another thing I can do to make this... Oh, hold on a minute, buddy. Excuse me. Like I was saying, another thing I can do is add in some dirt paths that kind of stretch out from these coarse dirt paths. So kind of like this. This will just run through the farmland a little bit. I'm curious how that's going to look. Hopefully it doesn't look weird. I think it looks okay. It definitely adds a little bit of extra detail. And you know, we're definitely in need of that right now. Okay. So this is what we've got now. I think this is looking good. Before I continue doing the other side of this farming village, I want to try and add in some crops so I can see how it's actually gonna, look when it's done. So what do I actually have on me? I don't think I have much. I know I've definitely got wheat seeds. There we go. There's some in here. Oh, some more. Beautiful. Have I got iron? I'm pretty sure I brought some, didn't I? There's 4. Come on, where is it? Oh, no. Okay, I don't know where the iron's gone. So I'm going to have to make, I guess, 2 iron hose. It's going to have to do for now. So I guess we'll start with this one over here. We'll turn all of this into wheat. Oh, I need to grab up some slabs. My goodness, I'm so unprepared for this. I'm not going to lie. There's just a bunch of running back and forth. By the way, we're on day 381. So we need to get a bit of a wriggle on. Otherwise, we're only going to get 2 projects done between the 300 and 400 day mark, which is not good enough. So I'll leave a little bit of a gap between here and the main road. So I've finished filling in this wheat farm and we used an entire iron hoe plus half of this one. So I need to go back to the base, grab some diamonds to make a diamond hoe, and then I can go ahead and get the rest of these farms filled in. Just going to drop off the leaves here just so that I can grab some more stuff when we go back to the base. And as we fly away, we can see the town. It is looking so good. And of course, it'll look better once we get the farms all the way around it. But I still prefer this huge build over here. This is looking so good, man. So we've now got a diamond hoe, which should last us the entire time. I'm also going to grab up the rest of the jungle leaves and I guess oak leaves as well, because we're going to run out of jungle and oak is very close, so that's all right. I'm also going to grab some carrots. I'm going to grab up some beetroot and I'll also grab up some potato. So now we'll be able to get all of those farms filled in. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done for you guys. So that's all the crops planted. Now I've just got to go ahead and add some lanterns in here, because obviously there were torches, but now they're gone. So we need to light the area up to stop people spawning in here that shouldn't be spawning. And there we go. Now, that's pretty much every single lantern placed in now. Oh, hold on a second. Boom. Okay, now we're done. Now, if we look at that, obviously it's going to look better once it's all fully grown, because right now it's, half grown at best. But yeah, this is going to look really nice once it's all grown in a lot. And obviously it's expanded further in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this circle all the way around this base. Gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming here to get this right. And then it's just going to wrap all the way around to this back wall here and pretty much fully circle this entire base. So let me go ahead and get that done now. Ladies and gentlemen, now the farm goes all the way to the other side. So if I look at it from the sky, you can see there is a complete circle of farms around this entire farming village, which is exactly what we need. Now to finish this off, I don't know why I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to add in a little bit of hay bales. I've got a little bit of wheat from farming, obviously because I needed more seeds, so I had to go back and forth between the farms to add more in. But we got 38 hay bales, which should be plenty. So I'm going to chuck a stack in here maybe. I think that'll be fine. Find another spot over here. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe one more over here would be bloody perfect, mate. Look at that. Oh, yes. I think having some as you're walking towards the village, so maybe one right here. And we'll put one on the other side as well. Just chuck this bad boy in over here, mate. Oh, yes. Okay. So now the other thing I need to do is over there. I didn't actually add any leaves beside the path as you walk in. So let me grab them there leaves and some spruce fences and chuck these bad boys in here, just so we can section off the front hand part of this farm. I'm gonna add a couple fences in as well, just to really seal the deal, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I feel like I should probably put in a tree right here as well. Feel like that would look pretty nice. I'm just gonna build this bad boy up like that, mate. And there we go. Nice little tree right there. So now as you walk down this path, you have a nice, little bit of greenery around. Where's me bone meal at? That's what I need right now. There we go. Couple bits of grass and flowers. That's looking nice, mate. Now, the final thing we need to do is get this house a little bit more set up because we can't have grass on the floor. So I'm going to make up a bunch of spruce slabs. Just filling the floor with the spruce slabs, just like that. I'm also going to grab some coarse dirt and fill this area in here with coarse dirt because, it's an outside section. There shouldn't be grass. There should be coarse dirt because there's going to be a lot of walking around. And I'm going to make a bunch of chests because this here is going to be a storage facility. This is going to be where we store a lot of our farming goods. Oh, hold on. Let me fill this roof in. I didn't do that before. We'll use dark oak slabs. It'll be a little bit different. So I think just having chests like this is going to be perfect. We're going to need more. Oh my days. Hold on a second. Hopefully 9 is enough. I think we've got 1 extra. That's all right. Yep. Look at that. Beautiful. So now if I grab all the farming stuff in here, carrots, beetroot, potatoes, wheat, and all the seeds, and I just chuck that all in there. Now we have, a functional storage for our farming area. Obviously, I'll come back and I'll decorate this whole thing eventually. Right now, I'm not able to decorate sufficiently. I just don't have the things that I need to be able to make these places look nice. But the outsides are done, and honestly, this village is looking pretty good. Obviously, it's just a big circle in the middle of nowhere, kind of, because all of that area is kind of pretty much done, and then leading up to here it's not. And we got this big grass patch here, which I'm completely torn about. I don't know what to do here. I was gonna do a market stall, but I don't know anymore. We could do like a storage area or maybe a campfire. But if you guys have any suggestions for what we can do in the middle here, please let me know. And yeah, I guess the best suggestion, or whichever suggestion gets the most likes, will be the thing that we build in the middle here. I mean, there is a huge amount of space, so we can be pretty open about what we can do here. But like I said, let me know what we should put in the middle, because I have no idea right now. I think I am leaning towards a market stall though. I think a market stall would be very nice. But we've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new buildings. So that more than doubles the amount of buildings we have in this world now. And I think this place is looking very nice, even though obviously it is kind of sticking out like a sore thumb, being in the middle of nowhere right now. But it's not going to be in the middle of nowhere forever. This whole thing will be joined up eventually. Eventually this bridge will be completed, and then I'll figure out what to do here, because right now this is a big old, I don't even know what that is, but it needs to be figured out. We need to figure something out. But this is a huge addition to our world. Look at this. And then this is all we had before, but we've added all of this in just today's episode. That's absolutely gnarly. We are on day 387 though, so it has taken a long time to get this done. Oh my days, they're after me. They're after me. I'm getting out of here. And I mean, we've accomplished quite a lot, I guess, in 387 days, but I don't know if it's enough. You know, we could have done a lot more. So I think we need to try and build bigger things, build cooler things, and maybe connect this side up to this side. So it's time to build a bridge. We're going to build it big and we're going to build it beautiful. All right. I've never actually built a big bridge before in Minecraft, so this is going to be a first for me. I kind of have a rough idea of what I want to build, but not 100% sure how we're going to do it. Currently, we're sitting on day 388, which means this bridge has to be fully complete before day 400. That doesn't give us much time, only 12 in-game days, which is about 4 hours or less now because this day is already well underway. So there's absolutely no time for any shenanigans. I need to go and grab all of my shulker boxes that are all just absolutely scattered here, filled with random stuff from the previous project. So let me get my affairs in order over here and take out all the random stuff and fill it up with the stone, which is going to be the primary block we're going to be using in this bridge. After a whole bunch of sorting, all the random stuff is out of the shulkers. I've only got them filled with some stone and some andesite as well. And the rest of the stuff is all in these chests here, which we don't have time to deal with right now. We are strapped for time, guys. So let's head back to the base and grab a couple more things we're going to need to be able to get this project started. I'm also going to drop off a couple of the shulker boxes. I don't think we're going to need them all. I think that should be good for now. We'll leave 5 in there. I have no idea where the rest of them have gone. I used to have a lot more. Oh, there's one in there filled with random stuff. I'm going to need a little bit more andesite, which is a problem. We don't have any on my days. We have a little bit of diorite, so I'm going to convert that into some andesite as well. How much is that going to get us? Probably not much. Okay, it got us, you know, a little bit over 5 stacks, which is not too bad at all, not too shabby, but I don't think that's going to cut it, to be quite honest with you. Let's go ahead and chuck that in here. We got maybe, you know, half a shulker. That's not too horrible, to be honest with you. So let's get over to where the sides of the bridge is going to be. And I've already decided I want the Y level to be 100. I already came over and did a little bit of looking around and seeing how it would fit. And I think this angle right here, kind of directly in line with this hole there, is going to be perfect. Straight across is going to give us a good angle, I think. So if I go down to Y 100 and make sure I have my silk touch shovel. I want to collect this gravel as well. So about here, this level here should be pretty perfect. So I'm just going to need to dig this down a little bit just so we can have a little bit of area to work off. Okay, I've got my fortune pickaxe as well. So let's swap that for the silk touch version. That'll be a bit more representative of this project. So this is the kind of level it's going to work from. So I'm just going to place down a bunch of these shulkers now. Going to have 2 shulkers for stuff we might collect. I don't think there's going to be much collecting. This is going to be the first video where we do barely any terraforming. This video is going to be mostly building, which is not too bad, to be honest. We've been doing a lot of digging, so building is going to be nice. I'm really hoping this bridge turns out nice because I have some high hopes for it. I think it's going to really shape up this whole area here because there's kind of this big cove, and I think the bridge is going to split it up nicely because there's such a big distance here. So the very, very first thing we need to do is go ahead and build across. So I guess right on this point here is probably going to be the best. Maybe the middle. I'll go pretty much where I'm standing right there. So from here, we'll make it 5 blocks wide in the future, but we're just going to build across 1 block for now, all the way to the other side. I know on the other side it doesn't match up perfectly to Y100, but that's okay because we're going to eventually do a little bit of terraforming over there anyway, and that side is probably going to be built up a little bit. So I think this will work out very nicely, and it's a good level on this side too. We're very high up above the ocean, so we're definitely going to have enough space to get some big boats in there for a plan I have of this little cove area here. Oh, we have some friends over here waiting for us. Look at that. All right, about here will be where the bridge ends. Let's yep, he can go. Come over here and we're gonna build this all the way. But before we do that, I do not want to be fighting monsters or creepers on this bridge. Okay, that was bad. Oh, look at all the creepers over here. Oh my days, guys. What's going on? Let's just finish these guys off real quick. Oh, there's a skeleton as well. Come on, mate. That's just not fair. I'm being quite honest with you. All right, come here, mate. Let me just deal with this fella. Okay, I do have 55 torches in here, which will be way more than enough. I'm just going to chuck it all the way across the middle of this bridge here. That should be way more lighting than we need, which is what we want. We don't want any of these cheeky buggers spawning. The worst thing when building a bridge is having a creeper. Well, oh, man's got a sword and literally just smacked me right in the face. That really hurt. I'm not going to lie. I felt that. I felt that on the inside. Okay, I'm going to build this across now and fatten this chunky boy up, get it 5 blocks wide. And then I've got the wonderful job of trying to find the middle because obviously the bridge needs to have some stabilizers. I'm planning on having 3 kind of holes, so they're going to be huge arches, but I do need to figure out where the middle is so we can get those done, because otherwise it's going to look real funky. And oops, I wasn't supposed to throw that off. Oh my days, I'm going to have to jump down and grab that. I need both of those items. That was embarrassing. Oh, not phantoms. You know what? I don't want to deal with these guys. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to have a quick rest. We don't skip the night, but if we lay down in the bed for a split second, it's going to clear the insomnia, which is what causes that's what causes the phantoms to spawn, insomnia. So if you sleep in bed for a second, it's going to clear that. But as you can see, it's still nighttime, okay? We ain't skipping no nights. Oh, look at these guys here. I was gone for a second. They want to start having a party. What's going on? Nope, he's blown. Oh, okay. He blew up and then I was able to one-shot him. That was nice. Kind of worked out well, to be honest. All right, enough yapping, more building. All right, I'll see you guys in a second when this is all chunky and 5 blocks wide. Okay, so as I was building across, it's about 125 blocks long. So I have to count 60 to the middle. Okay, so let me do that and I'll see you guys in a second. So this is the middle right here. I've marked it out very nicely with this stone and torches. And if we go into free cam mode, we can kind of see it looks like it matches up pretty nicely. So the calculations seem to be on point. Okay, now the hard part is of course planning out where these little pillar thingy majiggies are going to go. I don't know what they're called. Support beams? Whatever they're called, you know what I'm talking about, all right? We got to figure that part out. So I don't even know where to start. So I think I'm going to grab a bunch of stone bricks because I know I want the trim to be stone bricks. We're going to have stone as the main kind of middle building block, but these stone bricks are going to be the trim. Kind of like what we do for all the buildings. I use spruce as the trim and then, have a bit of stone bricks in the middle. So for this build in particular, these stone bricks are going to be the trim. So I'm going to grab a bunch of them. And where are my scaffoldings? Oh my goodness. We've already spent 1 day. This is now day 389. We've only got 11 days left. We got to get a massive wriggle on right now. We're moving like a worm when we need to be wriggling like a snake, all right? I don't know why I said that, okay? I'm just trying to get this done, all right? There's a scaffold. We got 3 stacks. You know what? This is a big build. I'm probably going to need a bit more. I'd rather have more than not enough, you know what I mean? So I'll grab 5 stacks and we'll go back. Let's get out of this base. I love flying out of this base still. It's still one of my favorite builds, I'm not going to lie. So I'll go to the middle and I'm going to try and drop down over the side here. Okay, I didn't realize my mic was muted. Basically, I've fallen down right underneath the middle point and I've created a little platform and we're building up some scaffolding to get better access to the underneath so I can build up some of these circular pillars. Now, what I'm going to do, I always followed the same kind of pattern when building circles. I just changed the numbers a little bit. So I'm going to go right in the middle. The first one's going to be 5 blocks like this. So this should still be the middle. If I have a look, yeah, look at that right in the middle. Beautiful. Okay, 5 blocks. Then we're going to go 3. So down 1, then 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, we'll do the same on the other side. Down 1, then out 3. Then we go down another 1. Oh no, our scaffolding's run out. That's absolutely horrendous. But anyway, we go 2 like that. 5, 3, 2. Have to do the same thing over here like that. Remove the stone, so it's only the stone bricks. I just fell all the way down. Lucky we didn't die. Oh my days. Now I'm gonna have to build another platform, aren't I? Gonna go 1 block up so I don't disturb the water. I guess I'll go out this far and we'll build up like this. Exact same thing. This is gonna be a very tedious project, I'm not gonna lie. Just because of how tall up it is, it's going to be pretty hard to build up there. Well, at least the first one. Once we have the kind of shape planned out, it's going to be easier to build the other ones. All right, so that's the kind of first arch completed. I think that's a good shape. I'm pretty happy with that. There's going to be a 1 block gap and then I'll do another arch and then once again another arch. But I want to detail this because if I can get the details right, I'm not going to have to do all this scaffolding thing. I can build it from the bottom up and it will mean there's going to be less back and forth because we don't have time for that right now. In order to do that, I'm going to need to get some stairs because that's going to how we shape this thing up. I don't have a crafting bench. How many times have I done this? Way too many times to count. I never bring a crafting bench. I always forget it. I should probably also invest in a stone cutter too. I know everyone keeps saying that, but I don't actually know how to make it and I haven't got time to figure that out, alright? Do I have fireworks in here somewhere? I hope so. You know what? I'm sure I've got them in my shulker box. I hope so because I've only got 6 left. It's not many, alright? We're coming towards the end of day 389, so we're burning through the time pretty quick. Okay, I don't have fireworks in there. That's very unfortunate. I'm gonna make up a bunch of stone brick stairs. Oh yeah, I landed. Okay, I was worried I wasn't going to land that. I'm going to just chuck some stone brick stairs on the inside of all of this just to shape it up a little bit. Where's the middle? On my days, here it is. Can I reach it? Oh, just. Okay, I still need to hit that one though. So let's find the middle. Should be here. Wait, can I just place like a block like this? Oh, I can. Okay, that is dope. Why did I not think of that before? That's... I can't believe I've never done that before. That seems so obvious. I can't believe I've never even tried that. That'll make it so much easier. Why has no one mentioned that to me, that I can just place a block and then have more scaffolding space? Oh my goodness. Okay, now let's have a gaze at that. Okay, the inside looks good, but the outside looks weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace each of these corner blocks with a stair as well. I think that should shape it up pretty nicely. Fingers crossed, because if not, then that kind of sucks. So let's build across using our newfound technique here. Now remove the top block and replace it with that. Oh, this is going to be very tedious. Okay, before I do the other side, let's see that. Okay, why is that one missing there? Oh my days. There. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine. I think that looks better than the other side for sure. It's much more curvy, I guess. So let's go ahead and do that on the other side as well. I'm so glad I brought all these scaffolding. I'm sure I would run out if I only brought 3 stacks. Okay, and that's that side all shaped up as well. Now that I have one arch looking pretty nice, it's time for me to go ahead and do this so many more times, which is going to take a while. So I guess enjoy the time lapse. Starting off with the second arch, I got the first half right, but when starting the other half, I missed the measurements by 1 block, which was an easy fix because I just needed to move it over by 1. After messing up the first one, I used a new measurement type by placing down stone every other block to make it easier to count, and it went up super easily. I then created 2 half ones which reached into the mountains on both sides, and then mirrored all of them with a 3 block gap in between to finish it off. And ladies and gentlemen, after another full game in day, currently on day 391, which is getting a little bit closer than I like to be. But if you have a look at this, we've actually got all of it in and it's looking kind of nice. It is still just very much a skeleton of what we're going to be building, but I think it's coming together pretty well. Now, the next thing to do is fix up this middle part. I think it's way too open. So I want to kind of fatten these chunky boys up a little bit more and then put some kind of design in here. So I think the next thing to do is create a kind of another circle that links up from the top here into the middle and then up again. So it's kind of like a triangular kind of thing with circular edges, I guess. I don't even know, alright? So let's get that figured out. So I'm thinking on this one here, straight up, that'll give us a decent amount of space in here. Then we'll just create like another circle. Now we'll go 2, 2, so down 1 and then 2. Then we'll go 1, so 2, 2, 1. Then we'll go 2, 2 again. So let me come out here a little bit. So we'll go out and then down 2. Then out again and down 2, just like that. I'm thinking that's a good kind of thickness. Yeah, it's nice and juicy. Next one should go down 3. So let me drop down a little bit more and we'll come in here and we'll go down 1, 2. Oh goodness. We need to go down 1 more block. 3. So that should be right in the middle, right? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so now I just need to replicate that here and then try and figure out if it looks good. Obviously, that's the most important part. So I'll go here, I'll remove this stone. So we'll just do the opposite. We'll go 2, then we'll go 2, then we'll go 1, 2, and 2 like that. Fingers crossed I've done that right. Hopefully, I'm sure I have. This hardcore world was the first hardcore world I've ever really used scaffolding, but I think I'm getting used to it now. I think I'm getting a lot better at using the whole thing. So now if we look at that, that should... Oh, I've missed a stone there. That looks weird. Hang on a minute. We can't really see it with that stone there. Throwing me off. Let's have a look now, okay? Yeah, you know what? That shape is pretty nice, but it does look a bit weird, so we got to get some stairs in there as well. So I think we're going to do the exact same thing. Let me go like this. Let me go and come out 1 and go down like this. So I can chuck in a little stone brick stair like that. Then we'll do the exact same thing we did here. We'll add in the stairs just to the edges on the inside like this, just like that, okay? And then we'll go on the outside, just like we did for the other kind of stone brick edge thing, and we'll delete them and then add the stone bricks in instead of the full blocks on the outside, just like we did previously, like this. And then I guess for this one, we'll just like that. I think that's good. No, we'll delete that. We'll go down 1 block like that. Oakley dokley, I think that's good. Let me come out here and do the exact same thing on the other side, and we'll just see how that looks, okay? All right, I think that's looking pretty good. That's a very consistent kind of shape there. I'm actually very happy with how that turned out and very surprised that I was able to get that first go. So now I just need to replicate that on all of these little holes here and get this thing kind of finished with the at least trim. I think there's still going to be like a little kind of thing here, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it goes when we finish in the rest, and guess we're just going to have to see how it plays out because we've only got 8 days left because we're on day 391, but we're coming to the end of this day. So yeah, we got, well, I guess 8.5 days left. So let's keep going. All right, so I do need to go get more fireworks because, you know, I've got one left. So I'm going to come over to my sugarcane farm, bash a bunch of this sugarcane. Oops, I shouldn't need too much. So I'll just get maybe a couple stacks. That should be plenty. We got almost 3 stacks. And I'll head back into our base, grab up some gunpowder, turn that bad boy into some fireworks. Oh my days, look at that. That was bloody beautiful, mate. Oh my days. Okay, I haven't got much gunpowder. Where's it gone? I thought I had way more. Guess I got 4 there. I got 10 there. 32. Okay, we're scrounging it together. Okay, I've only got a little bit. Whatever, that's fine. You know, that'll do me. Boom. Okay, how many fireworks do we get? 3 stacks. Okay, that'll be sweet for now. That'll keep us going for a while. So I'm chucking these bad boys in there for now. Put the kelp in there too. I don't need that. Now, another thing I need to do, I need to get more meat because I've only got 16 and I don't think it's going to last us the whole time. We got 8 days left. Well, I guess we're part of the way through 8 days now. So I'm going to grow up some wheat. A stack in 16 should be plenty. Going to feed these chubby buggers to make some more babies just to keep the population nice and high. I don't know why these guys love to climb the mountain. They're always chilling up here. One of the popular spots. And the last few wheat. There we go. Now I'm just going to take out a bunch of them. Oh, I just took out a baby. So I'm a horrible human. Now, I'm just going to get maybe like 2 stacks worth of meat. I swear one day I'm just going to make a huge amount of meat so I don't have to do this for a while. Because I feel like we have to do this every like 50 days we come and do something like this. Okay, that's pretty much a stack. So, oh, I got some in here already. So I'm just going to cook that up. Oh, we have a decent amount. Okay, I didn't really need to take them out. Look at all this leather. Wow. All right, but we got 2 stacks cooking up. I don't think we'll need to come back during this project because we only have 8 days left and we got 42. So that should do us for a while. But if you look at this bridge now, it's coming along very nicely. I did see that I left a stone. Here it is. Right there. Let me take that out. But the bridge is looking nice. Let's do a real quick flyby. Let's fly through this bridge. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, I don't know why I did that, but I need to go back to the base to get a couple things. I don't know how much of this stuff I have. I'm hoping I have enough, but we're about to find out. In here, oh, look at that. The mossy stone bricks and cracked stone bricks. We have a bunch. That is an absolute amazing thing to see. I'm not going to lie. So what am I going to do with these blocks? Well, I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do. Now, before we do, I need to grab a couple more things. I need to grab up some stone. I don't think we're going to need this scaffolding. I'm going to keep 1 stack on me just in case. And we don't need the torches or the gunpowder. We'll chuck that in there. We actually shouldn't need the stairs either, so I'll put the stairs in there too. But I'm going to grab up some andesite, then some stone, and then I'll grab a full shulker box of stone as well because we're going to need a lot of it. I don't really want to be coming back. Hold on. One more thing I need. One more thing. I'm going to turn half a stack of stone into slabs and then a full stack of stone into stairs. That should be enough because we're not going to use much of that. You know what? I'm going to bring the crafting table with me too because I know for sure I'm probably going to need that thing because I always mess up these numbers big time. But we have 7.5 days left because this day is coming towards an end. So we got to get a bit of a wriggle on. We got to get this thing going. So what am I going to do with all these blocks? Well, let me show you right now. I'm going to do the middle one first because I feel like this one's the most important. So obviously I'm not going to do any texturing underneath the water. So I'm just going to fill this up with stone for now. Up there. Just pretty much placing in a square of 9. So there's no gap between these ones on the sides, but here there is a gap. See, this is going to be a gap right here, but there's no gap on between these ones here, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I shouldn't need my sword. I shouldn't need my shovel. nothing to dig actually, so I definitely won't need my shovel. I won't need steak and I won't need fireworks. So I'm going to grab in mossy stone bricks, some cracked stone bricks, and the andesite. And then the rest is going to be our regular stone, mostly stone. Actually, no, pretty much all stone. We don't really need the stone bricks actually. What I'm going to do is every couple blocks, I'm going to remove a stone brick and place it with a mossy, and then also replace some of them with the cracked. Because if I don't do this now, I'm going to have to use scaffolding to do it later, because texturing is important, and while I'm building up, I might as well do it so I don't have to do it twice, if that makes any sense. Because usually, like especially when we're doing our walls, I place it all in with stone and then I just replace the andesite with scaffolding in front. If you've seen me build before, you know that's how I usually do it. But I think placing the andesite randomly like this is going to be so much better. I'm hoping so. And it should make this project go a lot faster, because if we don't do that, I don't think we're going to have time to really do any texturing. So I'm just going to kind of do this. So it gives us this little bit of a look, because it is important. The textures are always super important. I just need to make sure to remember to do it. That's the main thing. So when we get up to here, I'm going to go up by 1. Then I think I'll place a stone stair here, and then up another one, and then another. Oh my days. I swear, I'm probably going to do that so much doing this part. This is going to be very tricky. So I'll fly to the top and I'll just try and drop down. Oh, this is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to fly down. Okay, we got it. Okay. Oh my days. So I'm going to place it like that. And then I think we'll go up one, and then we'll place, oh no, hold on. Place it here like that. That'll give us a nice kind of angle instead of it just being flat. I think that'll look nicer. And at this point, I'll just repeat that design a couple more times, I guess, until I can't really repeat it, because it does get quite weird up there. It's like very diagonal, so I definitely won't be able to do it up there, but I think I'll be able to do it one more time. Let's give that a go. Oh, I've been forgetting to place these in. I can't really do it with the stairs, so maybe it'll look all right. Let's just have a quick gaze. Okay, maybe I should replace one of these. This one, I guess. That'll be fine, mate. So we'll do this design one more time. I think that's all we'll be able to do it, really. Like this. Okay. Now, what on earth am I going to do here? Instead of like a stair, maybe I can do a slab here. So we'll go like this, and we'll go a slab, and then stairs on the side. How does that look? Okay, that looks fine. That seems like a normal thing to do. Now, if we go up again, oh my days, this is getting tricky. I think we'll just, let me put in some stone here, and we'll just do another set of stairs, but this time a full block. So it's kind of traveling up a little bit. And I think the only real thing I can do is build it up like this. So I'll go full block and then a stair with a slab in the middle. How does that look? Okay, I think we're onto something. Now, if I do the same thing again, if I go slab there, then I go 2 blocks maybe, but I'll go a slab up again. Oh my god, guys, this is getting tricky, getting real tricky. Maybe a stair. It's getting hard to walk up here too. I can't really do anything. I'm literally sneaking right now. I think I should fill this one in. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do something here. Hold on, I need to go down 2 blocks as well. So we'll go here. Okay, maybe we'll be able to work from under here. I don't know why I was stuck up in there. That was weird. Okay, we're still kind of stuck, but you know, it's a bit better. So I'll go here. Now with this a bit lower, if I just trim that up like that, and then I'll go like this. How does that look? Okay, I think this is the best I can kind of come up with, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think I should put in, hold on, I can't put one there, can I? Change this to a andesite. Maybe one of these to andesite. Maybe that one too. I'll change these stone bricks because I completely forgot about that as well. Okay. I think that's looking kind of good. But that's only the inside done. Now I need to come in here, and I need to fill in here as well. Okay, I'll come all the way back down to here, I guess, and I'll just start filling this area in here, just so we can see how it kind of looks if it's filled in. Because before I do anything else, I want to make sure one side looks perfect, so I can just duplicate that onto all the other sides. Now for the inside, I'm just going to leave it like this, nice and flat, because you're not really going to see that. So then I'll just fill this side in with stone. So I think that's that side done, right? Oh, that's looking pretty good. I do like that. That's looking really nice. Now I just have to replicate that on every single side. Oh man. And we're on day 393. We have 7 days left to do this. This is probably going to be the hardest part, to be honest with you. I don't know if we even have enough stuff to do it. We should, but this is going to be tough. Hopefully we can do it. I guess the best way to do this is, of course, going to be a time lapse, because I'm going to need to really focus hard and try and get this done as quickly as possible. So I guess enjoy the time lapse. All right, and that is the whole thing filled up now, and it's looking a lot better, but I still think that little bit here is looking a little bit strange because there's nothing in there. So I think I have a really good idea, which might look nice and add a little bit of different color instead of just being gray. So let me go ahead and grab a new block that we're going to add. I don't think I actually have it here. I think I'm going to need to go to the new section that we just made, actually. Let me fly over there real quick. Man, I really don't like these storms. It just makes the whole game look so sad and gloomy. I mean, I think our base still looks pretty nice, but looks better when it's sunny. Everything looks better when it's sunny. This place looks so good though too. It does look a bit weird with there being, nothing in between it, but once we get that done, it's going to look pretty perfect, mate. So let me see what we've got in here. I need to find a particular block that you guys have seen me use a lot, and it's not in there. Oh my god, that is a heavy leaf. It just took half me health. Leaves shouldn't do that. That's wild. I think it should be in here somewhere. There we go. Spruce fences, okay? Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know how much I love to use spruce in literally everything. I have an addiction to spruce. It is bad. I'm also going to grab up some sticks because I don't want to turn too many logs into sticks. If I've got the sticks there, I might as well use them. But this little splash of color, I think is really going to bring out this bridge a lot. I'm hoping it's going to look good, okay? So let's kind of fly into here. Let's see what we can do. So I think I'm going to create like a little triangle. I told you I'd need this crafting table again. I needed it for the other part as well. I had to use it quite a few times to make some extra stuff. I'm going to make up some stone brick stairs and slabs, and I'm going to place them around here just to give it a bit more shape, because it's a bit boring without it. Just like this. I'll make sure to change some of these as well, just for that texture. Now let's have a look at that. Okay, trust me, this is going to look better. This is still looking a bit strange, not going to lie. Going to copy that exact same pattern onto this side as well. Now I'm going to connect them together using just regular stone. Should I connect this? I'm not sure. We'll do that for now. I think that should be okay. So obviously I'm going to try and fill up the middle with some spruce fences. I'm sure a lot of you already could tell I was going to do that, but I'm hoping it's going to look good because I don't really have an idea of what else I can do. So that's all filled up now. Let's have a look at how that looks. I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, I think that's pretty nice. Oh my days. It adds just a little bit of that color, but I still think there's some missing. There needs to be a little bit more. I think maybe adding some through here as well, just to fill in this gap here would be perfect. Not all the way through, just a little bit. So let me go ahead and make up some more because I used pretty much everything I've got. How many can we make? Oh, we got plenty. Look at that. So let me just jump down. I think the best way to do this is to just hope for the best, I guess, and just jump like this until we can reach up there, then build down like that, then build out and fill it like that. That's probably the best way to go about it. Now let's have a quick look at that. Oh yeah, that just really fills it in. Adds that nice little bit of color through the middle so it's not just gray. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Now let's do the other side as well. And there we go. That's that one done. I mean, look at the difference between this one here and then this one here. That's such a huge difference. Just that little bit of brown, different color just really changes it. I'm loving it. I think when we get the roof, or I guess the side bits done as well, the barrier kind of things, I'm going to probably do something similar to what I've done here. But once we get that in here as well, I think this bridge is really going to start looking awesome. I'm so happy with how this is coming along. We're currently sitting on day 395, but we're at the end of the day. So we've got literally just under 4 days left. So we got to get a wriggle on. That's barely even an hour. So I need to go ahead and do that for the other 3 spots in there. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys when that's done. And I've gone ahead and got that done. But as you can see by my little spruce farm over here, I had to get some more spruce logs because I ran completely out. I didn't need much more. I ended up getting like 2.5 stacks, I think, from that farm because there was quite a few trees and I just took them all out. But I have a couple leftover fences, so at least I guess we made some extra. But as you can see, all the fences are in on both sides as well, and it's looking a lot nicer. But we need to get the top done because I think that's what is really going to bring this bridge out. Let me quickly deal with down here though. There's a bunch of stone that should just not be here. So let's just get rid of that. I think that's really going to make us see what this bridge is truly looking like once this stone is gone, because you can't really see with this huge line of stone at the bottom here. Kind of just a massive eyesore in the middle of everything. And I'll quickly remove this platform as well. There's no need for this to be here anymore. I don't even think we really needed it in the first place. Once I figured out you could place just blocks and then keep building on the scaffolding. Man, this bridge is looking magnificent. from down here, it just looks incredible. Oh my days. I don't think I've ever built anything this nice. This is remarkable. Oh my goodness. Now, if we have a look at that from the sky now, you can very clearly see this thing is looking epic. That line of stone there really made a difference. Now with that gone, this thing really comes to life. Look at that. Now, obviously it's not done yet. We do need to get the top part done, and I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to be doing with this part. Very, very simple, but I think it's going to be enough. We don't need to go too crazy to make something look nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously fly up there because I'm a bit lazy. I don't want to climb up a mountain. We're sitting on day 396. Well, the end of day 396. So we've technically only got 3 days left, and it has to be completed. We can't be working on day 300. That would be illegal, of course. Now, because of these little triangles here, I want them to kind of be involved a little bit more. I want them to be a little bit less flat. So I think if I place a stair here and then have this come up like this, then kind of be a dividing thing for the design I'm about to make, I think that will be nice. Right? And then where should the other one be? Over here. Oh my goodness. I don't think there'll be another one on this side. Okay, so we'll go this way first, just to make sure it's going to work. If I find the next triangle is here, right here. If I go ahead and do the same thing, I place a stair, then 3 stone bricks and then a stone brick stair. Oh no, we got phantoms. Let me quickly have a quick little shut of the eyes because I don't want them to be messing with me while I'm doing this part. They'll knock me off and it's going to make it impossible to do. So I'm going to quickly do the same thing we did before. Just sleep for a second to stop them spawning because, you know, they're annoying as hell. Boom, boom. That was quick. We're a power napper. We don't mess around, all right? Wow, look at this bridge as you come out. That's incredible. Now, I do want to have a little bit of a shake-up. I don't want just a straight line of stone. So I think doing three stone bricks, then a stone brick stair like this, and 3 stone bricks, then a stair. That should line up perfectly, hopefully. I'm really hoping. Yeah, that's the middle. And that's 3, and I think that's as good as it's going to get, really. Yeah, look at that. So the reason I have this stair is because I don't want just a straight line of stone bricks. This stair every 3 blocks is really going to just shake it up a little bit. You've got to keep it shaking and baking, you know what I mean? And 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Okay, now let's have a look at that. Okay, the one right next to this tall pillar, I'm going to change that also to a stair just to give it a little bit more shape on that triangle, just to make it, you know, stand out a tiny bit more. I'm hoping that's what it's going to do. Let's see. Or does that look weird? Nah, I think that's nice. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, that's the design we're going to go with. I think that looks so good. Now, if I go and place stone bricks and stone brick stairs like this, every one, that should also line up as well because it's odd. Yep, look at that. Bang on the money. Alrighty. And finally, I don't have my oh, it's over here. Okay, let me just quickly come over here. Hold on a minute. He's got an enchanted bow. Let's get him out of there. Now, if I make up a bunch of spruce slabs, I should probably make up all of them. Probably going to need them all. And then place them kind of like I have done over on the walls over there. I think that'll also add a little bit of color and it'll just tie into those pillars we've got down the bottom. Yes, look at that. I'm not a massive fan of how flat this is though. So I think adding a stair in the middle part right here is going to be a little bit better, but how am I going to do that? How are we going to get there? Oh my goodness. I've set myself up with a bit of a pickle here, guys. Where's the middle? Is it this one here? Yes, it is. So if I just quickly remove this one, then place a stair, then place it back in, that should be enough. Yeah, that breaks up that straight line there and adds a little bit of a emphasis on this middle part here. I think that's nice. I think another thing we can do to break it up a bit is add in some texture using the mossy and the cracked bricks like we've done before. So if I grab them and I'll just change a couple, I'm trying to make sure I don't change. Okay, the stairs are all in line with the block, so that's good. That'll work. So I can just change these ones in here every now and again, and that should really shake it up a bit. And maybe some of these ones as well. Now let's have a look at that. Okay, I think that's bang on the money, guys. That is bloody beautiful. Look at that. Oh man, it looks a bit weird because it's only that one section. I think once we do the whole thing, it's going to look a lot better. So I guess enjoy the time lapse, and hopefully that'll be the bridge kind of at least very close to being done, and hopefully before day 400. I'm sure it's not going to take 4 days to do this. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. And with that, that is the bridge now complete. At least the majority of it. I think it's looking really nice. I think I've done a pretty decent job. Not the best, but you know, I think it's still very nice, okay? I'm very happy with what I was able to get done. Now, in order to finish this project officially, we have to make sure it actually makes sense. Right now, it just kind of spawns out of nowhere. So I got to quickly tidy up this land a bit, start having a road come up to the left here, and if we have enough time, potentially start a road heading over towards this side. Now, we're on day 397, or night 397, so we only have 2 days left. So we got to get as much of this done as we can. So I'm going to drop off all the stuff that I don't really need, and I'm just going to start going to town on this thing. I'm going to try and dig all the way back to that kind of area there where a wall should be and see if we can start building that out. Thankfully, we are going to be able to get a ton of gravel from this, which is going to be helpful because I do use gravel a lot, especially when making coarse dirt. So it is definitely something that I need. So I'll dig it back to about here. Now I just got to lower that another 2 blocks and that should be pretty sweet. And then as we get back to here, I'm just going to jump up and place in a bunch of stone just so I can start forming the back of this mountain. Get the backdrop at least looking pretty beautiful. Kind of just like this. So now I just need to shape this up a little bit because obviously the flat walls look a bit weird. So that's just as easy as this. And if you guys want to see exactly how I do this, I've actually made a tutorial on my channel very recently explaining and showing exactly how to get these walls looking good. I tried to be as in-depth as I could to make it, as easy to follow as possible. So if you do want to make these mountains, just be sure to go check out that video because it shows you exactly how to do that on your own. I go through the planning, how to carve out the mountains a little bit, and of course, most importantly, the texturing, which in my opinion is the most important part of doing these mountains. So now this is kind of how it's going to look. If I go to the sky and free cam, you can see it's quite a nice, decent amount of space. So we're going to be able to build some nice things over here. Now, we are now starting day 398. So we haven't got much time. I got to go back to the base. Luckily, it's not a very far trip. And I need to grab as much of the grass that I can. I just grabbed as much as I can fit in my inventory, which seemed to be almost 18 stacks. But anyway, let's go back and we're going to start working on this bit again. I'm going to try and build the mountains without just making a flat wall, just so I don't have to double hand it, I guess, just because we haven't really got that much time to be double handling everything. I want to try and get as much of this done as I can, just because I feel like having the bridge not connect to anything doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like a finished project if I don't finish that part. So now when I replace this line of stone on the floor, it's really going to change the area because obviously there's no grass, it's all gravel. But having this grass in here is really going to make it look more full and more alive, and I guess more changed compared to what it was originally. Now, if I just have a look at that area here, you can see the grass does change it so much. This area already looks very different just in this section here compared to over here. So adding the grass and these little walls in here is by far my favorite thing to do. I love it. I love terraforming and changing the landscapes and seeing how much of a difference we can make and just make it custom and I guess our own. Now I do need to plan where this road is going to go as well because I don't really want to be double placing the grass. I think it should stick towards the outside just so I can build along the face of the mountain, which means we need to plan where this mountain is actually going to go. So I think I wanted to have a little bit of a nice curve that it's already got. So maybe like this, come out here and start curving in a little bit, and then the exact same on the other side. So you can kind of see what I've done there. Once I get the grass in, it's going to be a lot more obvious. I guess I'll place the grass in the areas that I can. Now I'll try and get this whole spot done kind of where that is marked out all the way to the back. So no more yapping by me. Enjoy a beautiful time lapse of me absolutely transforming this whole area real quick just before day 400. And just like that, this area is now a little bit more tameable. It's looking so much better from what it was before. Now, we are on the night of day 399, and the night is almost coming to an end. So we pretty much finished this project exactly on time. Now, if you look at this from the sky, you can see, obviously, this is looking a lot more obvious for how this is going to kind of shape out once it's all done. Now that we've got this area kind of trimmed down, obviously this bridge path is going to connect over to this path here. This beetroot farm will most likely expand up to here somewhere, and there's going to be a couple builds around here. Now this path will of course reach over this side of the mountain and head upwards towards the very top, but that will be way down the line. Now quickly, if we just have a look at this build one more time, I just want to do a quick fly through. I think that's going to be awesome. So if we come over and we just lie through the middle, look at that. Wow, this build is phenomenal. I'm so happy with how this turned out, and it really just makes it feel less empty in this kind of ocean here. I think we've done a fantastic job, and I'm excited to see what we can do once we continue building, especially on the other side here where there's nothing except a blank canvas for us to start painting. In terms of the entire build, it's starting to come together pretty nicely. You can see we've got this bridge stretching all the way over here, and then all the way through here we've got this massive build, and then it stretches as far as the eye can see all the way to the new village over there, which is phenomenal. Now the bridge doesn't have any lighting, but I think that's okay. I think it's okay for us to keep it like that for now. If you guys have any suggestions on how we can light it up, please let me know. And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to hit day 400 as the sun rises. There we go, day 400 as it ticks over. This is phenomenal. Now, obviously, our previous hardcore world, we only lasted a day 105, so this is a huge increase, and honestly, we've built so much more than we did previously. I'm very, very happy with how this is going. But now it is time to see the updated map. By far, my favorite part of every 100 days. So let's see how many maps we actually have. 6. Okay, that is not going to cut it. We're going to need 25. Thankfully, I have 20 compasses, so as long as I just get enough paper, we're going to be perfectly fine. So let me drop off a bunch of stuff that's in our inventory, just so we have enough space. The unintentional perfect placement of the sugarcane farm is going to do us well. Should be able to get enough paper very, very easily. And I'm sure just over 3 stacks will be plenty. So let's head to a nearby crafting bench with our compasses, of course. We'll get the rest of these maps made up, and boom, we got 20 maps now, plus the 6, so 1 extra. I also need to grab some item frames. Thankfully, I've got some wood in here because I was prepared last time. And we got a bunch of leather in here, so it's very easy for us to get. Oh, not quite. We need a bit more sticks. Oh my goodness. But don't worry, we still got a bunch of logs. And there we go. We got 32. More than enough. We also have some torches and some glass. So I'll quickly craft this glass into glass pane so I can light up these maps because I don't have any glow ink sacks. What I've been doing is just placing torches behind it with a case of glass. Something like this, of course, with the item frames in front, just like that. So I'll place the things we don't really need in here just so we have them ready next time. And I guess I'll just go get all these maps filled in, starting with the very first one, which should be the middle map. This one should sit right there. So if I go north 2 and then 2 in every direction, that should be sweet. So of course, let me go ahead and do that first. I'm also going to need to grab some more fireworks. Oh my goodness. I know I put them in here somewhere. There they are. Beautiful. So that's up that way and behind us done. Now we need to fly to the sides. Now this side I'm a bit worried about. I don't think we're going to fit the village in here. No, definitely not. The village is way outside of the map now. Now I really wish that I got a map earlier. So we might need to expand it by one side on this side. But the map looks like this. So let me go ahead and get these 2 sides and then all 4 corners. Wow, this map is coming along so nicely. And we have the final map now filled in, so we can go ahead and get the rest of this map completely done. Now, before we do the comparison, I do have to lock all these maps just to make sure if we ever do move, they don't get updated when we move them. And now for me to show you guys exactly how these maps have evolved, I need to go and grab some scaffolding. Boom. Now, my favorite part of this entire series, every 100 days, is to see the changes in the world. So let me set up this scaffolding, and now you can see this is the 100 days map, this is the 200 days map, this is the 300 day map, and the grand reveal, this is the 400 day map. Now, of course, there technically should be more, but this part got cut off. But my goal is to try and fill up this entire map with something before day 1000. So we're almost halfway. We've got 100 days until we're halfway. I think we're doing okay. I think we should be on track to fill in this whole thing up. Now, for the 500 days, I will be creating another map room with a much larger scale map. Pretty sure I can expand the maps. So one map could contain the same amount of blocks as 4 or even 9 maps, depending on how big I want the world map to be. But that will only be updated every 500 days. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So we can get a much bigger grand scale of our world and how it evolves over long periods of time. Because I don't intend on dying anytime soon. So I guess we got to make sure we make it there first. I am kind of sad that the farming village is cut off on the edge just barely. You can just see where it starts because it makes it a little less exciting with the change, but there is still quite a big change between the two maps. Obviously, we've got that massive bridge that now links across the two parts. We've got this entire section which has been absolutely revamped. A humongous difference there. That is completely changed. And of course, we've got the start of this bridge linking over to this kind of landmass over here with some pre-terraformed land ready to go, which you can see was a beach before we did all of that stuff. So very, very excited to see where this continues, and I hope you guys are as well. But guys, if you're here right now at the end, you're an absolute legend. Watching these videos all the way through helps out the channel more than you could ever imagine. Now, I'm curious, a lot of people have been asking for some tutorials on some of the builds, especially this underground base. If you guys do want to see tutorials of some of the builds that I've made in here, please let me know, because I'm more than willing to make as many tutorials as you guys want. They are a lot easier for me to make than making these hardcore episodes or series, so I can do them very easily if that's what you guys want me to do, I guess as an extra video. But yeah, let me know down below. But ladies and gentlemen, we have survived another 400 days. Very, very exciting, and I'm so excited to continue and see how far we can take this world before we cark it, because I know for sure we will eventually. I have tried to be a little bit more careful as of recent because of how much work we've put in. I really don't want to lose the world, but I guess that's the point of the game. That's why we don't use totems. It can be taken away from us at any moment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I seriously hope you enjoyed the video. Also, if you're still watching this video right now, it probably means that you enjoyed it. So it would mean a lot to me if you could hit that subscribe button, because we're trying to hit 100k before GTA 6 launches. And as always, until next time, peace out.